Yo, what's up, John? How you doing, bro? Um, Sam was in the middle of doing something. I don't know what he was trying to do.
Nah,
But you can do it.
I was trying to fix the stream quality. I was trying to basically get our money's worth out of StreamYard. I don't want higher quality streams. Um, but it's okay. We'll let it slide. Shrikar, you owe me a little bit of cash though. So put you on blast early.
I do. I'll pay it. I'll pay it while we're on stream. It'll happen at a random point.
Bet.
Magically
I'll get that
remember
notification. I will let you guys know when it happens.
It will happen though. I'm a man of my word, guys. I will pay him on stream.
And by the way, also the reason I need the money, this is the last time you will see this setup behind me, most likely.
The brother is moving.
Your brother is moving, and I need some funds. Rent's not cheap, man. We got to pay the bills somehow. So you know how you can help pay the bills is by giving us a follow down below, YouTube, X, Instagram.
Guys, we don't get monetized until 1,000 subs, so we're still.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying though. If you follow and we get monetized, you get the subs. Come on now.
Yeah, what he said, man. Follow the socials down below. Yeah, it's gonna be a good stream here. Just gonna be chilling. Obviously we have some fight announcements here. UFC Philadelphia is officially official after months of rumors. Our main event is going to be Islam Makhachev and Ian Machado Garry for the welterweight title. Co-main event is Mackenzie Dern and Gillian Robertson for the strawweight title. So we're going to talk about both those fights. I do want to talk about, well, before we get into this fight, also what's on the agenda, we do have to talk about Pereira and the fact that he's trying to appeal this Cyril Gane loss. I think we definitely got to talk about that. Jamal Hill is moving up to heavyweight. Came out of nowhere. But we kind of mentioned it when Bam Bam was on.
I have a lot of thoughts on that, actually.
So yeah, we'll talk about that too.
To get into that.
But yeah, let's get started here. Let's talk about Islam and Garry. My first thought is this is a tougher fight for Islam than JDM was, just based off the physical advantages that Gary's going to have in terms of the natural size of, or being a natural welterweight for one. But also, the guy is 6'3", and Islam is like 5'10", I believe, maybe even smaller than that. So size difference is going to be there. There is the opportunity for Garry to point fight here. But the big question is, how will he fare on the ground? And I know that's what all of you guys are wondering. That's the question that everyone is wondering around the globe about this fight. Islam can definitely get to dominant positions. He may have a tough time getting there, but he can. Gary's going to be a tough fight for Islam. If Islam couldn't submit JDM, I don't see him. I don't know if he's going to submit Garry. I think this will go the full distance. Yes, Garry does train with Oliveira at Chute Box. So good training partner to have. You're training with a guy that has experienced what an Islam fight is like, albeit it was at lightweight and it was a long time ago. But, experience is experience all the same. It's going to help. But I think this is a tough fight for Islam. This is a very tough fight for him.
I completely agree. I think this could be Islam Makhachev's toughest test yet. And I feel like we say that every time. We said that about JDM. We said that about Arman Sarukian. I know that didn't happen. But I don't know if we said that about Dustin Poirier. We probably did. But this was before the pod was invented. We probably would have said that about Volk too. But Ian Garry, looking at his record, he can do it. He can do it from the ground. Obviously he's more of a striker, but his ground game is not bad to look at. He had
Shavkat almost submitted.
Exactly. And that's, you beat me to that point because he's 17-1. His one loss is Shavkat Rakhmonov, and he almost submitted him, which is crazy to think. Destroyed Belal Muhammad, beat Carlos Prates, which I think that it has aged like fine wine, like $1,000 bottle of wine. It has aged that well. I like this fight. I think it is the right fight to make. Welterweight's just absolutely loaded right now. You could give it to Prates. You could give it to Michael Morales, which I have also seen rumors that fight could be on the Philly card between Michael Morales and Carlos Prates. And if that's on the card,
I hope so.
God, I hope that's on the card. I've been saying for a little bit, this could be my first UFC event I attend in person. I'm fairly close to Philly, so I might drive up. I know Chris and I have made the discussions. We're trying to rope in Streetcar to fly out about 1,000 miles to come to it, but
It's not happening,
see.
guys. Simply because of the co-main, it's not happening. But we'll get into it in a
Yeah,
second.
we'll talk to the co-main a little bit. But this is going to be a fun fight. I'm at the point of in my life where I just can't pick against Islam right now. Kind of like the same I said of last week about Ilia Topuria, although we all know how that went. So,
And we said the same thing about Hamza, and we said the same thing about Fluffy at one point in time.
I never said that about Fluffy Hernandez.
It's the year of the dogs. It's the year of the dogs.
It's a big year of the dogs, and I'm excited for this. I think Ian Garry is going to be I think he will be. He's obviously going to be the dog. I don't think it's going to be that big of a dog though. I'm thinking like maybe like a plus 300 dog, something like that. I don't see it being absolutely drastic. And I think the only reason he's that big of a dog is because of his opponent. Because am I mistaken that was JDM the favorite against Islam at some point?
No, he was a plus 230 dog.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, I think it's going to be around there. Just the fact that Islam dominated last time, I think it's going to be similar. But we also get Russia versus Ireland. I think that's going to build up the fight too. You kind of have to use the build up the fight at that point. So this is a great way to cap off the summer for the UFC and what has been an unreal summer so far. I'm excited. I'm so excited for this one.
That's an interesting point you bring up, Russia versus Ireland, because if we look at the history of these sort of matchups, Russia has always had Ireland's number. Obviously, Conor and Khabib is one example, but if you look at Usman and Paul Hughes over in PFL, Usman beat Paul Hughes twice. Dagestan has just had the number, so
they all hate Ireland, man. I don't think actually that's not true. It's not they hate Ireland, but just like that history, even like with Dylan Dennis and Hamzat recently. I know Dylan Dennis isn't Irish, but just like he's on Team Conor, and if you watch that RAF, it went kind of berserk at the end.
Yeah, but Garry, man, I'm really tempted to pick Ian Garry here just because, one, yes, it is a lot of underdogs this year, but even just stylistically looking at this matchup, my one knock on Garry, and it's always been my knock on Ian Garry, he does not have finishing ability. He just doesn't. He's very technical and he's very clean. He's super sharp, especially from the outside when he just wants to fight his fight. He can do that, but he cannot finish a fight. And I think to beat Islam, you have to have some semblance of finishing power, or at least finishing ability, even on the ground, because he did get close to submitting Shavkat, but he didn't do it. And he had him in a very, very good position. He literally had his back taken. So, albeit, we don't even know how that Shavkat fight is aging right now because Shavkat has not fought since Garry. So, we really don't know. So I don't really use that fight as a basis as much as I do Prates or as much as I do, I guess Belal. But we've seen Belal, and that win is not aging well, considering Bonfim and JDM did exactly the same things to Belal Muhammad. But I do think Islam could be in a bad spot here. I would not be surprised if this is kind of, well, I don't want to say it's similar to the Dustin fight because I feel like this is a truly unique test in Islam's career. I can't really think of what fight this would mimic.
I think it would mimic the JDM fight. I wouldn't call it like a unique test. I know they're
JDM
different.
Is not Garry at all, though.
I guess
Garry is way bigger, and also his style of striking is much, much different. And I feel like his takedown defense is better.
His takedown defense is a lot better. I think I will give him credit to that. I mean, this could be similar to like a Sean Strickland Hamza. You do bring up the point. Like, I know you're tempted to take Garry, and you say that, and it's like, I'm thinking of Hamza versus Strickland. You have a dominant wrestler versus a guy who has fantastic takedown defense. I don't think Ian Garry is on the level of Sean Strickland when it comes to his takedown defense and just being like an annoying fighter, but he's up there. And I think that size advantage could really help him. I do worry about the finishing ability because I think to beat Islam, you have to finish him, which I mean, you go to the past. Poirier had Islam for a little bit, just could not finish him. And that was the issue. And Islam just got that leg and won it from there. I think there's a reason he's the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. He can do it on the hands, on the feet. He has everything going for him. And I think that's a big thing for Garry to see. So I'm curious to see how it goes. But I would lean Islam right now. Maybe stuff comes up that convinces me otherwise, but I don't see myself changing the pick. But I also don't feel as confident about that as I would maybe back in May before Strickland beat Hamzat.
Yeah, this is truly a banger fight. Definitely one of the bigger welterweight title fights we've had recently, I would say. I'm very happy for Ian Garry. He definitely deserved it. As much as we wanted to talk about Morales and the fact that he blitzed through Sean Brady and maybe that would have cemented it for him, and then obviously Prates going out and finishing JDM and where his spot in line was, it was always Ian Garry. It was always going to be him. He was next in line, and the resume really just backs it up. The wins that he has. Even not even Belal, but just beating Prates in itself, considering how that win is aged, and then beating Belal, and then really just waiting and demanding that title shot. It worked out for him. It worked out for Justin Gaethje as well. But this is going to be a sick fight. It really will be. I'm very excited for this one. It'll be a good one. The co-main, though, definitely not as interesting, I would say. Definitely the least compelling title fight across any division right now. Mackenzie Dern and Gillian Robertson. Now, the big question is, where is Zhang Weili? What in the world is she doing? And now my hunch is that Zhang Weili was supposed to fight Mackenzie Dern, but I don't think the timing really matched up. And there was already kind of something in place with Gillian Robertson, especially after Gillian's last one, because she seemed very confident that she was getting a title shot. And we were all like, you may need one more. But here we are. Mackenzie Dern will be defending her belt against Gillian Robertson. We are not getting Dern versus Weili. And in terms of what they do next with Zhang Weili, I really don't know. Do they do Zhang versus Suarez 2? I don't think they would do that. Do they do Zhang Weili versus Rose Namajunas at flyweight? I really don't know.
I think Zhang Weili is going back to strawweight. Like what I think is that, look, Zhang Weili is historically a very inactive fighter. I think she's probably still inactive. I think for her size, like going from 105 to not 105, 115 to 125, I think it is. Yeah. That's a big jump. That's a big jump.
You mean 115?
And now from she was at 115. Strawweight is 115. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said 105.
No, I said 105 at first. I corrected myself. Going from 115 to 125 is a big jump. You're just gaining so much size just based on that. And you have to cut that all the way back down when she was already struggling to make weight. So I think it's just like, a physical thing. Got to get lower. At the end of the day, though, I think this is just a sheep being led to the slaughter fight. Whoever wins this fight is going to get slaughtered by Zhang Weili. I don't really see an otherwise. But
it's a placeholder title fight. Like I don't see the value in it.
Exactly. It's a placeholder fight at the end of the day.
I guess what's the early prediction? Dern? We're going Dern?
I don't even know, man. I think I would go, man.
I think I'm going Dern.
I'm probably
Gillian Robertson. Because Robertson, Robertson is good on the ground, and I get that. And she has the sub threat. Dern is literally just as good on the ground. Like it's gonna be a 5-round decision, and I think Mackenzie Dern will end up winning a very, very boring fight. I don't think this is gonna be a good one. I
was just gonna say this is a snoozer. Like it's crazy. A year ago I was talking about like how loaded this division was. So many people competing for the title, and I feel like it's just like it's kind of fallen off now.
It's just always been this bad. It's never been.
I guess it's not bad. Like these are all good fighters. It's just not fun to watch. Is it just going to be grappling 25 minutes on the mat, and it's just like an extra 30 minutes waiting for the main event? I feel like, no disrespect to these fighters, that's their style. I'm just not a fan of it, and I'm not that excited. I think I would go Dern. I think the jiu-jitsu helps out a lot in this case. If you want to finish, you would go Gillian Robertson, but I would go Dern for now.
Who you guys got for Kopp versus Horiguchi? Our predictions will come out tomorrow or Friday. I'm leaning Kyoji as of right now as the dog. But it's one of the toughest picks that I've had to make the entire year. I keep watching tape and I watched the first fight. I just feel like they're pretty much mirror images of each other. And that's what makes the pick so difficult, because I think the striking is pretty even. People may lean Kopp, but I think Kyoji they both kind of move the same. So the real decider is the grappling, and in that case, I'd probably go Kyoji because I think Kyoji's better on the ground. He literally submitted Kopp in the first fight, so I could see something similar playing out. Yeah, I can't make a decision, but I'm leaning Kopp. Yeah, I mean, if you take Kopp, that's fine. It's just, would I rather bet Kopp or would I rather bet Kyoji? Because Kopp is sitting at like minus 160. So I tend to lean towards the side of the gooch, Kyoji or Gucci. But yeah, so the backstory behind this Dern and Robertson fight for me personally, obviously I was trying to go out to Philly for this event. I'm in the Midwest, so it's not too bad of a flight for me. And I've been meaning to go to an event. As soon as this fight got announced, I was out. I was done. I was just like, no. I feel like for me to go to a card and drop money, and because I got to take a flight out there too. For me to spend that type of bread, I need a better co-main than Mackenzie Dern and Gillian Robertson. I mean, Islam and Garry is going to be an awesome fight, and I cannot wait for that. One main event alone is not gonna, it's not gonna suffice. I think you need two good title fights, two compelling title fights, and a good undercard under it for me to go. UFC 317 definitely fit that mold. We had Ilya and Charles, and then we had Pantoja and KKF. Those two fights I was very interested in, and the undercard was great too because we had Royval and Van. Who else was on that? Dariush and Moicano was on that, and then Talbot was fighting Felipe Lima. So I thought that whole undercard was good, and the prelims were great too. With Philly, I'm just not seeing it. I'm really not. I don't think this card is that great besides main event. And obviously we have to wait for fights to get announced. I think Ribovic and Barbosa is a war. That's going to be a sick fight. Definitely excited for that. Real quick, I'm actually going to look up what other fights have been announced for this card. Vicente Luque and Trayshawn Gore. That's a good fight.
That's fine. I'm not that excited. Blanchfield Jasdavicius is actually like a not. I'm actually not. I don't hate that fight. I think that's a good prelim fight.
Am I spending $700 for Blanchfield and Jasdavicius?
It's not going to be $700. Hell no.
But even like it's gonna be 500 plus at the very least.
It'll be like 300 plus is what I'm thinking.
For any card that's being headlined by Islam and Garry, you can expect to pay a good amount of money. Let's check UFC 330 ticket prices. Let's check Vivid Seats. One ticket. The cheapest ticket is $566 in the nosebleeds.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Huh, yeah, I'm.
Well,
I'm
it might be my first event if I go, so we'll see what happens. But I thought tickets weren't on sale for that yet. Am I tripping?
No, they're on sale.
Oh, never mind then. Anyways, yeah, I'm just not as excited for this co-main event. I do, yeah.
Yeah, I get it, guys, but I mean, it's a different sort of standard with me to get me off my ass and go to an event. I wanted to talk about this. Obviously, we had the breaking news today, but I wanted to go and circle back to Freedom 250 for just a second. Alex Pereira and Ilia Topuria are handling their losses very, very differently. I don't know if you guys are on Instagram much, but obviously Ilia gave a lot of congratulations to Justin. He, didn't make any excuses. He took the loss the right way. Alex Pereira has been berating Herb Dean nonstop and also Cyril Gane. And now he says he wants a fair and square rematch with Cyril in September. And he's trying to appeal legally the loss. I don't know about you, Sam. I think this is crazy cope. I really think this is crazy cope.
This is crazy. I think we talked about this. I don't know if you brought it up on the podcast. I wasn't on the recap stream, but you were hell bent that this was a bad stoppage by Herb Dean. I don't know if do you still feel that way?
Not really.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say I just want to get that out of the way because I think that was a good stoppage by Herb Dean. People are.
Okay. I will say this though. I do think a point should have been taken from Gane because those were illegal shots. No matter how we dice it, definitely.
If you want to call it, yeah, I think it's fine. I just don't think like at the end of the day, it's like a John Jones situation where he was dominating him and then just 2 illegal shots, maybe something like that, and that's it. At the end of the day, like I'm a huge Pineda fan. I don't see an issue with what Gane did. You can call it illegal, but at the end of the day, he was dominating Pineda, and I'm not like butthurt by that. And I don't think Alex should be too. He got dominated. Straight, like simple. If you want to take a point off, that's fine. Gane would have still won the fight. There's no need for this rematch. I don't like this at all. I think Pineda needs to fight somebody else in the heavyweight division. Cough, cough, Josh Hokett looking at you. It's not. I don't appreciate this at all. It just gives sore loser mentality, and I feel like if you're considered one of the best fighters in UFC history, then you shouldn't be doing this. It's kind of ridiculous.
I wouldn't say that Ciryl is absolved of blame. I think he is definitely to blame here, and we can't ignore the fact that all of those elbows were illegal. Like majority of them were illegal. I think it's more of Herb Dean's fault, though, because he should have stepped in. He should have taken a point. I mentioned this after the Gane and Aspinall fight. This is just part of Ciryl's game. As much as you guys maybe want him to be less dirty, it's not going to happen. He's always going to fight the same. He is Muay Thai kickboxer to the core, but the way he goes about things and the way he moves and the way he, frames, it's not going to change. That stuff is just embedded in him because he's been doing it his whole life. So, and that's not going to change anytime soon. So for anyone that's hoping Ciryl Gane becomes a non-cheating fighter, tough luck. He's going to be the same. But I will say this rematch is not happening. It's not happening in the slightest. We don't need to see this again. If it were me and if I'm Alex Pereira, I go back down to light heavyweight because I don't think heavyweight is happening.
No,
I don't think heavyweight is a good weight for him, though. Like, it's just not optimal at all.
I think here's the thing, though. Like, if he was struggling to cut to 205, it's the same thing I said with Zhang Weili. Like, struggling to cut to 205, now you go to, 255?
But everyone struggles to make weight. Pereira can still make 205. He can make it. It's not he's stuck with this weight class.
He's not stuck. It's just here's the thing. It's just gonna take a while for him to cut that and go back down to 205. And then once he's at 205, even if it's gonna be a long layoff, by the time he fights again, he could be 40. Like, he's getting up there in age. I for his career, I think what you do personally, I think if you beat Josh Hokett, I think that's a title shot, another title shot. It can be against Gane, it could be against Aspinall. I don't hate a rematch if it's for a title shot. And Pineda, he has proved time and time again that he is one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the UFC. Didn't do it on Sunday. But at the end of the day, if you beat Josh Hokett, who is, let's be real, it's those two who are the next best title contenders. Alexander Volkov's next for title.
And Sergey Pavlovich, too. I think Pavlovich is definitely over Hokett. 100%.
That's valid. Pavlovich over Hokett's fine. That kind of changes things. I didn't even think of that. I don't
think Hokett Pereira is a guarantee in the slightest. I think Hokett is going to fight Volkov.
Oh, he's going to get destroyed. He's going to get destroyed.
Yeah, Volkov is going to get smoked, but I think they do Hokett and Volkov. And I think they would do...
I think Hokett's the one that's going to get destroyed. Are you kidding me? Dude, that size advantage is going to be insane. Hokett's going to have to throw punches up to get him.
Well, he's not going to throw punches. He's just going to wrestle Volkov the entire fight.
Oh my God. I don't know how that. I'm curious to see how that one would go. I
I
feel like
think
Volkov
I
would win
think
that.
he gets through Volkov. I don't know. Y'all let me know in chat if I'm tripping. I think he gets through Volkov.
He'll be the favorite. He'll be the favorite. I just don't see it happening.
Sergey is a 10 times harder matchup for him than Volkov is.
That's valid. No, I agree with that. That's valid. Yeah. Look, I think 205. I don't hate 205. 205 needs help right now. My God, they're. And I think Pineda, if he went back down to 205, I think he's just. It's almost like another guaranteed title for him. And you
Well, yeah,
retire on
Pereira and
top.
Oberg is right there, and obviously Oberg is still recovering, so the timelines would match up. It won't take Pereira that long to make the cut back down.
I think what you do for Pineda is you do, and I think two options for him. I still think the Hokit fight. You can give him a Hokit fight. I just that's the moneymaker right now. You just have to like you have to understand that like there's going to be a line at heavyweight, and like heavyweight's a little loaded right now, especially with just there's now an interim champion. So that's one thing. And then the second thing, we'll see how that situation pans out. So Pineda Hokit number 1 or number 2, an interim title fight. At light heavyweight, probably going to be against who would that be against? Probably the win. It would. I was going to say the winner of Hill and not Hill and Ankalaev, excuse me, Roundtree and Ankalaev, but that's just not going to be fun.
They won't throw Pereira in another interim title fight.
If he comes
back down, he is fighting Oberg. Like that is the fight.
Well, how long does he want to sit out for, Pineda? Because Oberg's not fighting until next. Oberg's going to fight until like April. I guess 10 months isn't that bad for Pineda, but still.
Because he still has to move down a weight class.
That's valid. I guess that makes sense. I'm not opposed to that. I think Hokit, if he wants to stay at heavyweight, which he seems hell-bent that he does, I feel like Hokit's the next move.
I'm not sold on this Hokit Pereira. I mean, it could happen. And Hokit's definitely calling for it. I don't know. I'd rather see.
Let me rephrase. Let me rephrase. I think logistically, the best fight for Pineda is either Volkov or Sergey Pavlovich. I think the moneymaker fight and the fight that's going to draw the most attention, draw the most fans, and probably just promote whatever's next for Pineda is against Josh Hokit.
I agree. I do want to.
It's like the same situation with It's kind of the same situation with Hamzat and Strickland. Like I personally thought that Nasruddin Imavov was more worthy than Sean Strickland, but that's where the money is. That's where the money is. You get Sean Strickland leapfrog Nasruddin Imavov to fight Hamzat Chimaev.
So look at the heavyweight rankings. This is crazy, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh crap! I lost it. I think Pereira and Sergey's fight if he stays at. So Hokit moves up to 4. Waldo moves down a spot. Rest of everything is pretty much more or less the same. So yeah, Gane and Aspinall is our title fight. I would do Volkov, Hokit, and Pavlovich versus Pereira. I think that's the way I would matchmake heavyweight right now.
The winner of Tom Pavlovich versus Pineda?
No. Tom will fight Gane. That's set in stone.
Tom's fighting Gane. I was gonna say. I was like, wait.
Volkov and Hokit, and then Pavlovich versus Pereira.
I guess. I honestly think Volkov and Pavlovich would be a banger fight.
But we've already seen it.
I would happily do that again.
I wouldn't though.
That happened a while ago.
Was that fight really that good? Guys, do we really need to see Volkov and Pavlovich again? I don't need to see a rematch. And they don't even like each other. It's like it's already happened. You know, I don't think we need to see it. And it only happened in what?
It's so weird like how complicated heavyweight is now. Like earlier it was just like there's like 3 title favorites. Now you have like 5 or 6. By the way, is Pineda in the heavyweight rankings?
No, because he lost.
Oh, okay. You have to win. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of options. I'm very curious to see what the UFC does. I think if you had my personal choice to what I would want to see the most would be Tom Gunn, Volkov Pavlovich, Pineda Hokit. That's what I would do.
I just don't see
And
the draw in Volkov and
I don't
Pavlovich.
even think Volkov or Pavlovich necessarily needs to fight. Like, they can wait. I just think Volkov wants to fight, and I think Pavlovich wants to fight. I think you can just do that. I don't know. That's just my take. What's up, Tyler?
How we doing, dog? You enjoy the fights?
Yeah.
I just don't see the appeal in Volkov and Pavlovich again. It was
I think we're just gonna have to agree
to
disagree on this one.
Yeah, because for me it was like, okay, it was a boring point fight the first time. Volkov won, 30-27, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Don't think anything will really be that. At least with Pereira and Pavlovich, that would be a war. That would be an insane striking battle. Volkov and Hokit, as you mentioned, the size disparity. At least that's something that's like, okay, I need to see that.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious to see who ends Josh Hokit's run too, because I don't think this is going to last forever. I think someone's going to end this, and I'm curious to see how Hokit handles it.
I tried to watch your last stream, but I fell asleep before 1 a.m. I'm sorry.
Okay. I fell asleep before 1 a.m. too.
Yeah, me and Chris are night owls right now.
I actually have a confession to make about sleep. I didn't watch the Ilya Gaethje fight. I watched the replay of that. I had to wake up at 4 a.m. the next morning, and it was 12:30, and I'm like, I can't do this. I will say, though, I do regret it, because a part of the reason I felt content falling asleep was I was so confident that Ilya was just going to knock him out. And I'm like, everyone
spamming L in the chat.
Yeah, spamming L in the chat. It's fine.
Just drop an L in the chat.
Yeah, but that's my confession. So I watched the full replay of the fight, though. I was like, I expected to wake up at 4 a.m. and just see my timeline. Ilya Topuria knocks the hell out of Justin Gaethje. And I see all the texts was like, Gaethje's the champion. I'm like, what in the world did I just miss? Woke up at 4 a.m., worked for 13 hours on Monday. Kind of brutal, but we got through it, took a nap, and then I watched the fight again. It was, I'm bummed I missed it, but.
So you watched every fight? You watched every fight except the main event?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
That's what I would have just plugged it out and just stayed up. I mean, it's the difference of like an hour, not even, probably 30 minutes.
Here's what I will say also. Monday, for the calendar year, Monday was the most important day of the year for my work. So I kind of had to be on my toes a little bit. Yeah,
but I don't know. I could not miss the main event. Like, I just could not do that.
I had to.
All right, yeah, we can talk about the other guys on the White House card, because Sam wasn't here for our matchmaking last night, so we can talk about that. Update.
I go pretty quick on it.
Ilya's entire facial skeleton detached from the base of his skull. He shattered both eye sockets, his nose, cheekbones, and upper jaw, causing brain injury and cerebrospinal fluid leakage. I don't know if all of that's really true, but I would believe it. I'd believe it. Pereira Hokit. I don't know, Tyler. I don't know. I think it could happen just based off not merit, but what the fans want. They're definitely going to do Bo versus Izzy. I mentioned Bo versus Izzy last night, and Bam Bam and Chris hated that. They hated that, which I feel like it's not a bad shout. Izzy is sitting at 9.
Bo Nickel versus Izzy.
Yeah. By the way, Bo Nickel is 15.
That was going to be my prediction. That was my matchmaking. I think that's a fantastic fight.
Okay, so I'm not tweaking, bro. I don't think it'll be that bad of a fight.
That is, first of all, that has been a common matchmake I have seen, and second of all, I don't think that's bad. Not that bad a fight. And look, Izzy gets slimed out. I think that could be the case.
He doesn't,
dude. I mean, I don't know.
Don't say that. Don't say that. don't put that out.
Look, Bo Nickel's on a great run. He is finally in the rankings. This is a day that a lot of people are waiting for. He needs to get, I think he deserves a big leap up, because he's been dominating recently.
Right? Like, they would put him in a top 10 fight.
I think you put him in a top 10 fight. And You look at the top 10, there's no one else in the top 10 that I'm willing to put Bo Nickel against. It may be maybe Fluffy Hernandez, but I think Joe Pyfer's rumored to fight him. That's what I've seen. That's been the matchmaking. I think that makes a little more sense. Izzy's next. If Izzy doesn't want to do, if you don't want Izzy, like who's next? Jared Cannonier. That's just a sheep being led to the slaughter fight.
People, they were saying Roman Dolidze. I'm good off
Absolutely
that. I don't need to see.
not.
I don't need to see
Roman Dolidze needs to fight out of the rankings.
Izzy versus Shara Bullet. Yo, Loki. Okay, if Shara beat Michelle Pereira, I would love to see that, but I think we're still one fight away. I think there's like a gap in between those two. I want to see RoboCop versus Fluffy. Dude, I want to see RoboCop versus Pyfer. RoboCop and Pyfer's would be insane. That would be a war.
I think RoboCop Fluffy.
Yeah,
I think Pyfer Fluffy's the move right there. But anyways, let's talk about the White House matchmaking. Diego Lopez.
Well, I mean, we're already here at Bo Nichols. I was just starting with Bo.
No, you're good. I'll go from bottom to top. I think. Do you want to do winners and losers or just winners?
We can do both. All
right, we can do winners and losers. Starting with Diego Lopez. It's so tough with him right now. I think Evloev or Volk is next. I think you do a title eliminator between. Man. There's three. The three names are Lerone Murphy, Aljamain Sterling, Yair Rodriguez. I would love Yair Rodriguez, just because of like those two do not like each other. I think that's a great main event for like a fight night. Maybe is UFC Noche is that a pay-per-view this year?
I have no idea, but I feel like Yair is
not a pay-per-view. If Noche is not a pay-per-view this year, then make that the main event of the pay-per-view.
I just don't think Yair is going to accept it. I think Yair is literally a pussy. Like, I just don't think he's going to take it.
What is Yair going to take?
Nothing. Dude, you know what's crazy? He was talking shit about Ilya. From the couch.
That's
talking
crazy.
shit about Ilya.
Diego versus Arnold Allen. I don't hate that either.
But Diego can't fight that far down.
He can't fight that far down. I don't hate that, but I think Diego, like, it needs to be. I think Lerone and Aljo makes a lot of sense. That's where I'm just curious. I'm curious to see where Diego comes in.
So I was saying Diego versus Aljo.
I don't hate that.
Or a move up to lightweight.
I don't hate that either. I think I think with Diego, there's so many options. I don't hate the move up to lightweight either. That's what I've seen rumored. What about? And I know there's a different fight rumored for this guy. What about Diego Lopez versus Charles Oliveira for the BMF belt? I think that's so good.
If he moved up, that's probably what's going to happen.
That's what has to happen. I think that would be so good. And Diego Lopez, let's be so real, is a BMF and has every component that screams BMF. Let's be real. Like, I honestly think Diego, I know Charles Oliveira has the belt. I think if there's one guy that doesn't have the belt, that's never had it before, never had the chance to fight for it, it's Diego Lopez that has it. It's just because he's in a different division why he hasn't. But I think those are some great options. And like he weighed in at 145 and then like an hour later, weighed in at 155. He's like, I'm the backup. Fights someone who took the fight on 90-minute notice. And Dan Ige, like, he's like, I'm willing to do this. Let's go. He's fought on the biggest UFC cards, fought at the Sphere, fought at the UFC 300, fought at the White House. This guy has it all. And he's one of my favorite fighters. I think it's crazy to say, because I think he wins one more fight, and I think you get the Volk trilogy, which is kind of crazy. Like, there's nothing else you can do with him. So, don't ever no. I don't. You can say it's not
BMF fight. I mean, if they're gonna give him, I agree. But if they're gonna give him anyone, it should be Diego. Diego's gonna be kind of the A side, almost.
Yes, I agree.
That BMF matchup.
As for Steve Garcia. I think for Steve Garcia, man, Steve Garcia and
thinking,
what about Steve Garcia and Aaron Pico?
I think that could be a good one. That would be a war. Actually, that'd be a
It
good
would be a
fight.
war. I think that would be a good one. There's not much I would do with him.
I was thinking Garcia and Zalal because Zalal just lost, so he has to fight down.
Oh,
And
that's
Garcia
actually one.
gave
That's the other one I've seen.
Marcus McGee. Nah,
No.
that's a huge jump for McGee.
No.
Yeah, I'd do Zalal just because Garcia gave a really good account of himself in that first round. So it's not like he should just fight out of the rankings or fight down all that much. That's why Pico could work because they're within range of each other.
Yeah. I think Zalal actually makes a little more sense, and Pico can maybe Pico or Zalal. I don't hate either.
I don't even know what Brian Ortega is still doing here because I don't know what Ortega is up to.
Yeah,
is he moving to lightweight?
Brian Ortega, I think, is moving to lightweight. I think he's just so inactive at this point. So,
but yeah, Bo. I would do Bo and Izzy.
I would do Bo and Izzy. We talked about that already. Kyle Dawkins. I don't know what I would do with him. Let's look.
I was saying if Vicente Luque beats Tresean Gore, I think you do Luque versus Dawkins.
That's the one that I've seen a lot. I also don't hate the. Here's one. What about like an Edmund Shabazian? Or like
yeah,
I don't know.
That could work. I feel like Edmund's fighting up though.
Yeah. Oh, or here's a crazy one. What about an Ateba Gautier? Give him like the first real test of his career. They're right around the same range, I think.
I think Gautier.
It's not that.
Man, it's a good matchup, but I think Gautier would smoke Dawkins.
I know. I think you would too. I just think that's a good thing for Gautier to do, for his career.
Imagine Vallejos becomes champ, moves up like Ilya, then beats Gaethje and proves he's the better version of Ilya. Hey, I mean, anything is in the cards at this point, but Gaethje's not going to be around for that long, I wouldn't think.
Yeah. Yeah, he has that much time. We'll get to the Gaethje matchmaking, but I've seen people say retire for him, which is crazy.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean,
I don't hate it either.
You probably should retire. I mean, this was the best possible way you could go out.
Yes, exactly.
Like, what does defending the belt really do for you?
It does nothing. It does nothing. Mauricio Hufi versus Michael Chandler. Chandler should retire. I'm not going to matchmake Michael Chandler.
I agree.
Just he's gonna fight a no-name prospect next. I don't care about for matchmaking him. And then for Mauricio
Hufi is really tough to matchmake.
I think what you do with Hufi. What does Max Holloway make sense at all?
Well, Holloway's at 170.
Oh, I forgot he's fighting Connor.
Yeah,
idiot.
Okay.
I think you. Ooh. God, he's so tough to matchmake because everyone in the top, like
everyone in the top five is pretty much like we know what they're gonna do. Hufi versus Holloway after the fight.
Dream scenario is this, and Hufi's never going to do this, but if he just sat and wait for a while to fight Ilya Topuria,
that's not happening.
It's not going to happen though.
I think Ilya deserves a rematch.
Yeah, I think. I guess if Charles Oliveira is fighting. I guess it. Oh, geez, what was that?
My water bottle fell.
Valid.
I'm sorry. I scared you.
I think I think this actually makes a little more sense. Yeah, you have to hear me out a bit. I think you take the winner of Paddy Pimblett and BSD because let's be real. If Charles Oliveira fights for another title, I don't think Paddy and BSD are not getting another title shot for the time being after this. Because first of all, no. Arman Tsarukyan wins this fight. Arman Tsarukyan is getting the next title shot. I don't think there's any way you can convince me he's not. It's time for him to get this title shot. If BSD wins, I think Hufi makes sense because Charles Oliveira is also one away. if he fights like Hoofy Oliveira makes some sense, but I think Diego Lopez. I like that the most. I don't know.
Yeah, I
It's
think
tough.
Lopez coming up will make lightweight matchmaking easier.
A lot easier. Yeah, it's always hard.
And it would make featherweight easier too.
I think pending that Diego Lopez comes up, I think he takes the winner of BSD Patty, because the winner of Oliveira, you have Arman in line for a title shot. Then you have the winner of Oliveira and Diego Lopez next for a title shot. And then third in line, you can go BSD Patty Pimlet versus Mauricio Hoofy.
Yeah, we were saying
not to mention
like a Gamrot.
I've seen Gamrot match made, which it's a little tough. I don't love that, but I don't hate it. But I also want to put it past Mauricio Hoofy, because he just wants to be. I feel like he's one of those fighters that just wants to be active, and he's fought down like he did with Chandler. Like when that fight was made, I thought to myself, what in the world are we doing here? But at the end of the day, it's the White House. It's a free win for Mauricio Hoofy.
I was kind of fucking around when I said this, but imagine Hoofy and Sal killed. Like that would be a crazy matchup.
Mm-hmm. What if Fiziev wins his fight?
Well, Hoofy and Fiziev have already fought.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, that was actually recent. My bad.
Hoofy literally knocked him out.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I think that's what I would do for him. Chandler, I said retire. Josh Hokett, I already said I'm going Pineda for him. What did you say for Hokett again? You said Volkov?
I said Volkov, yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Derek Lewis should also retire. I know he's just I know he's not. And I think if you're Derek Lewis, maybe like oh man, who do you fight?
I was thinking just strictly for the memes. What if we just did, because Johnny Walker's coming up to heavyweight. If he beats Ante Delia, what if we did Derek Lewis versus Johnny Walker? Just to see, as a social experiment. What if we just did
so funny
Derek Lewis
and
Johnny Walker?
I meant to say this. What about Derek Lewis versus Jamal Hill? And the point I've been waiting to get off, think about Jamal Hill, and I know he's not close, but there's a chance that Jamal Hill could be a 2-division champion, which is crazy to think.
He won't do it because I feel like Aspinall would absolutely murder Jamal Hill in a fight. But yeah, it's possible.
I feel like Derek Lewis could get he'll get a no-name prospect. I don't hate Brando Pericic, but Pericic is probably going to fight on this Belgrade card coming up. I don't know if Lewis would be ready for that.
Yeah.
I don't hate Mario Pinto either. 12-0. Kind of a no-name prospect at this point. So it seems like. And he was booked against Mick Parkin, so they've booked him against a ranked opportunity. I don't hate that fight either.
Hey, I see 15 people in chat. That better be 15.
I was about to say that. You great minds think alike.
That better be 15 likes on the stream. Hey, it's free. Does not cost you anything. Like up the stream, support us any way you can. We really appreciate it.
Just give Lewis Aspinall for the chance of being a meme being created. By the way, did you guys think that, because there was some discussion on Twitter about Hokett in that armbar against Derek Lewis, and people were just saying Hokett was selling it, just to like make the fight seem even longer.
And just like,
it wouldn't shock me at all from Hokett. That's what it sounded like, because it seemed like I forget who was saying it, but someone was like, you're Josh Hokett, you know how to do an armbar, and you can't get Derek Lewis to submit. Like, you're just selling it at that point.
It never even looked like it was fully locked in. Like,
well, no, that's the thing.
Not like wincing at all, and Hogan was just kind of like
he wasn't locked in. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I would do for Derek Lewis. Sean O'Malley. Okay, this is an interesting one for Sean O'Malley. Win or loss, you give him Petr Yan. Petr Yan, if Petr Yan beats Merab, you give Sean O'Malley a title shot. If Petr Yan loses to Merab, you give Sean O'Malley Petr Yan for a title eliminator. Because I think at the end of the day, that's a rematch. Like, we've talked about the O'Malley-Yan fight so many times and how we thought Petr Yan got robbed. I think that is the perfect matchmaking. I'm not even going to consider another option for that one because I think that is too perfect to happen. O'Malley has everything going for him that he can get a title shot. It just can't be against Merab because we know how that's going to go. He needs another one before he fights Merab again. And Petr Yan would be perfect for that.
Yeah,
and if
completely
Merab loses, you give O'Malley Petr Yan.
I agree. I've seen some people saying that Sean O'Malley should jump Merab in line. That's not going to happen. They're going to run that trilogy.
No.
But that was a great KO for Sean. This is exactly what he needed just to get back on track here and kind of put himself back on the map.
Can we just talk about the aura farming? Knocks him out and then just salutes.
That's one of the toughest sellies I've ever seen. I wish the camera got it.
I wish the camera got that. That would have been.
Because I only noticed it on the replay.
Hot take. Who is the guy he just just drilled in the face and then just like stared at him and walked off?
I believe that was Eddie Wineland.
Eddie Wineland. I actually think that's a tougher knockout than the one he did at the White House. Just because Wineland was out cold and Zahabi wasn't.
Yes, and
it's
yes,
aura.
Yes,
it's aura.
No. Yeah, in terms of the aura, I think the Zahabi one was better.
And also, you got to think like pure satisfaction. I think it was the Wineland one.
But also, if we factor in the stakes and everything that was surrounding this fight, what it meant for Sean, I'd probably take the Zahabi KO just because
the aura. Yeah, that's aura. It's aura versus satisfaction. That's no question what I would do for Sean O'Malley. For Ayman Zahabi, I would go. Who would I go with?
So they kept him at 6.
They kept him at 6, which is interesting. The one I've seen. I just want to make sure this guy won his last fight because I think he did. The one guy I've seen for Zahabi is Peyton Talbot, which I don't hate at all. I think that's a guy who's moving up very quickly. You could also do David Martinez. I think those are like the only 2 guys that you would realistically do. I personally think David Martinez can fight a little higher. I think if you're David Martinez, you could fight like a Corey Sandhagen. And then do like Song Yadong Umar. I actually think like overall bantamweight's pretty easy to matchmake at this point. Like Yan Merab, O'Malley fights Yan after the fact. Umar and Song Yadong, Sandhagen, David Martinez, Mario Bautista.
Sandhagen's fighting Bautista at International Fight Week.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Well, the winner,
I think so David Martinez and Umar got canceled. Dave Martinez is out of the fight. So,
okay, interesting.
Which probably goes up. Good, because I want to see Umar and Song Yadong way more than I want to see Umar and David Martinez.
I do too. I think you go Zahabi and Talbot or David Martinez. You give him somebody who's like up and coming, and like there are a lot of guys at.
I was thinking Barcelos.
That's the other one I've seen. That would be interesting. It could be time for Barcelos to get a huge step up. And I mean, it's going to be the same thing for me. Death Taxes and Hayoni Barcelos. I'm picking Hayoni Barcelos in that fight. Because I sort of I'm so bad in the rankings this year, but anytime Barcelos is on the card, I pick Barcelos and y'all pick the other way, and I get some points off of that.
Aren't there rumors of Song versus? Yeah, there are rumors, and I hope they're true. I really do.
There's a card in Shanghai coming up. I think that's your main event in Shanghai.
That would be sick. That would be sick. I definitely want to see that. I do think Song and Umar would still work in Abu Dhabi, and I'm sure Song will be willing to do it. I don't think
they're probably doing Talbot versus Zahabi. Talbot has a lot of momentum. That's kind of my theory right now.
You could.
That's kind of why I'm leaning that way.
I just don't know where Peyton Talbot is. Like, what is their plan with Peyton Talbot? I feel like nothing has been said of Talbot's name in the past 6 months.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, 6 months. So I have no clue. What's going on. But I don't know if Peyton's in a dispute with the UFC or if something's going on. So that's why I'm not really matchmaking Talbot at the moment, because I just don't know what's. I think Figgy and Talbot would make sense.
I I don't like that at all. I think Talbot's worth more than that.
Well, I mean, they're not that far apart in the rankings, and also Figgy is probably. No, I won't go that far. I won't go that far. Talbot
He
will
wanted to
get.
use the W word.
Is he getting wheeled by Frank Ocean? Yeah,
Oh
I
my
don't know,
God.
man. I don't know what's going on. I'll love the Peyton Talbot. I don't know what's going on with them.
We talked about Gon and Pereira, what we would do for them. Gaethje, I said he's fighting Arman. I think that that has to happen next. I'm not. Who do you think is next for the title?
All right, me personally, I know some of y'all may disagree. Upset coming at UFC 330. I think it could happen, bro.
I think
I
it could happen
really
too.
think it could. Zin Clipper X. Welcome to the chat, my brother. I think Gary could definitely pull it off. I think Ilya deserves the immediate rematch. And I know people are kind of I feel like recency bias has gotten in everyone's heads. Are we forgetting who Ilya Taporia is? Like, he deserves the immediate rematch. You put him right back in a title fight. And I think in a rematch, Ilya will terrorize Gaethje in the rematch, for what it's worth.
So
I feel like recency bias has killed everyone.
I don't hate that. My issue is, when is that going to happen, and how long is Gaethje willing to wait for that?
Well, first off, I'd retire if I'm Gaethje. Just go out with a bang.
If Gaethje retired, then give Ilya the title shot. Yeah, absolutely.
I would do Ilya and Arman for the vacant belt.
Yeah, well, here's my thing with Ilya. I think Ilya Taporia, that is his last fight of this year. I don't think he's fighting again until middle of next year. With how much damage he took, I don't think Ilya Taporia fights until at the earliest April of 2027. At the earliest April 2027. Because you took that much damage, just not like you telling me you're going to come back from that for like quickly? No, you're not.
Yeah, McGregor's low-key just going to be all the way. And it's going to suck, man, because y'all know how big of a fan I am of Max. God. And out of the pure heart that I have for him, I'm going to pick Max. And it's going to be wrong because I just can't pick main events this year. But imagine Islam doesn't get the takedown on Ian Garry. It's possible. I do think it's equally as possible that Islam just gets to his dominant positions. But Ian Garry on a physical level is such a tough matchup for Islam. And it's unlike any fighter that Islam has seen in the UFC so far.
Yes.
I don't think Islam should be a minus 400 favorite like what he is right now.
No, I think it's less than that. Yeah, I think Gaethje. I think you make Gaethje Arman happen. Ilya, if you want to give him a title shot after, that's fine. But Gaethje's not waiting until next April to fight Ilya Taporia again. No way. There's no way that's happening. I think if Ilya doesn't get the immediate title shot, which is a possibility, because you can't rule anything out with Taporia at this point because of how long I think he's going to be out for. I think Paddy Pimblett makes sense. But I also think I think Paddy makes sense, but Paddy has to beat BSD. And I know I just match made Hoofy with the winner of that. I think if Ilya is ready beforehand, I think you just do that, and that's a moneymaker. I mean, it's another moneymaker fight. So we'll see what happens.
But McGregor been inactive for the last 5 years. Max been on his grind. I would say yes, but unfortunately, we follow a sport called mixed martial arts, and in mixed martial arts, that ultimately does not matter. Apparently, McGregor's talking like his old self again. Is Ilya Taporia the next Tony Ferguson? No,
not at all. Not at all. No. Sorry to laugh at that. Ilya is a lot younger, and it's just
like I get it. Like that. Yeah, I get it, but like, no. Yeah. Gaethje versus Conor if McGregor pulls. Okay,
I agree with Tyler Fish that. No. I agree
with Conor wins, he will get the direct title shot, whether it's against Islam or lightweight. He will get the direct title shot.
Oh no, it's gonna be Islam. Conor's not moving back down to lightweight. That's what I kind of agree with Tyler. And also, I mean, Islam versus Conor. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I do think Connor will also try and go for three
The
belts.
security in that arena is going to have to be. Think of what it was between Hamzat and Strickland. I think it's going to be 10 times worse.
Yeah, I think it would be and especially considering the fact that Connor will want to go for 3 belts. He's not going to win. Surely not. But Islam is top 3 GOAT.
If Connor wins, bro.
Islam is already, he's already top 3.
He's almost.
Undisputably, he's already top 3. I don't know. What more does Islam have to do?
I think it's disputable, but I kind of agree that he's top 3 at this point. I think especially
he has the all-time win streak record.
In a world where we're seeing a lot of these fighters like Ilia Topuria, like Khamzat Chimaev, like just dominating. Everyone thinks they're close to Islam, and then they lose. And then when we think Islam's going to lose, he just dominates. Like, it says a lot. So
Islam did jump the cage. He did jump the cage. Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like we're kind of getting out of that era of. I think we're seeing a lot more parity. Like, I think we're slowly getting ushered out of that area where we have a dominant champion, like a Volk, or like a John Jones, or like a GSP, and who knows? This could be Ilya's Matt Serra loss. I don't think this derails Ilya's legacy in the slightest. I don't think the Strickland loss derailed Hamzat's legacy in the slightest. I think they could come back each respectively in their own divisions and get the belt back. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion. And that's the problem with the MMA fan base, to be honest. I've aired my thoughts on this plenty of times before. They turn so quickly. They are so fickle. It really is what it is. And I get it. You go off what you see, and it's kind of like a what have you done for me lately sort of sport. The fact that people, and I think Pereira and Gane is a great example. People were so quick to defend Pereira when Cyril Gane cheated against him. Where was that when Gane cheated against Aspinall? That's my question.
And that was more blatant. Let's be so real.
Way more blatant and way more of a career ender. As a matter of fact, Pereira was not backing Aspinall during that. He was like, oh, he quit. Look at that. I'm going to be gone. Look what happens. This sport changes fast, doesn't it, Alex? It changes very fast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that I could say I was on Aspinall's side from day one. Okay, I will leave it at that. I cannot believe that Gane was made out to be a hero in that fight.
Yeah.
Islam versus crazy. McGregor co-main event. Artem Lobov versus Sobira Tukukov.
That's great. Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
But anyway, so that's my matchmaking from 250.
All Pereira fans are TikTok Reels watcher, not even know single thing about UFC and acting like Cyril Gane is a bum who appeared out of nowhere. That's what I'm saying, bro. They acted like Pereira was like a god. I like Pereira. I think he's good.
He's not a god. Bro lost to Ankalaev.
Yeah. People were acting like he's Michael Jackson.
Pineda has shown time and time again that he's not immortal. He's still one of the best to do it, but he's not immortal.
I was talking to my boy today. He was like, yeah, I could understand Ilya losing to Gaethje, but I never would have thought Pereira would have lost to Gane. I'm like, bro, it was a pick'em fight.
Yeah.
Gaethje pulled off one of the greatest upsets we've ever seen. What are we doing? Cyril Gane? I mean, like,
people just hate. I think people just hate Gane because, for a multitude of reasons. I think my personal, I wouldn't call it hate, but just like, I wouldn't call myself a Gane fan. It's not really his fault at all. It's just that Volkov got absolutely robbed in that fight, and that just left such a sour taste in my mouth. That's the only reason why.
Yeah, I think Gane can beat Aspinall in a rematch. I said on the last stream, I'm definitely going to reconsider the pick now.
Me too. 100%. Yeah, and people had Gane going in too, so.
Topuria was not overrated. What are we talking about, bro? What are we talking about? I'm pulling this on the screen. What are we talking about? The man he knocked out Volk, Max, and Charles back to back to back.
That's not overrated. That's legendary. I think it's still like such a shocking loss. Like this is a shocking loss. It is absolutely one of the greatest upsets of all time. To his point though, I did say that I would not be surprised if Gaethje won because Gaethje had everything like it took to beat a guy like Ilia Topuria. That was just a boxing match. I feel like when it's a boxing match, it's very different. When it's two guys that are just throwing hands, I feel like anything can happen at the end of the day. And I think that's why I didn't consider Gaethje, but with the run that Ilia Topuria was on, there was no way you could pick against him. I feel like so.
Gon was popping the jab on Aspinall's face constantly and stuffing the takedowns. It was okay. So that fight was kind of like this Ilia and Gaethje fight. Gon was definitely doing more visible damage, but if you actually look at the strike numbers and the way Aspinall was adjusting towards the end of the first, Aspinall could have won that first round. I'm still going to stand by that. And it was a feel-out round for Aspinall, by the way. We don't even know how the rest of that fight would have played out. That didn't matter. Gaethje's elite. Yeah, Ilya's also elite.
Ilya's elite too.
Ilya's probably more elite.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to say that, but like it's still true.
No, it's really not, because in a rematch, I'm still taking Ilya. Like
I'm also taking Ilya in a rematch, 100%. I think
Ilya literally played into Gaethje's game.
This is like the same. This reminds me of the same thing with Ankit Pereira, where stylistically, Ilya versus Gaethje was not necessarily the best matchup for Ilya, and I kept saying this. I doubt the odds are going to be out. Oh, they are. Damn. Plus 210. Yeah,
Topuria is still a minus 250 favorite, y'all. What am I missing here?
You're not missing anything. But this reminds me of Ankit Pereira, because stylistically not a great matchup for Pereira. Comes back and wins, just shows how dominant he is. It's the same thing. I feel like it's going to be the similar thing.
I think Ilya will fight in July.
Yeah, Ilya's not fighting for a while. So, I don't know.
I think Ilya will still be in a big fight. I think he should still be in a title fight. I don't see a point in giving him a contender next. 6-1 underdog. People thought Gaethje was very hittable and older and doesn't use wrestling offensively. Everyone agreed Ilya was. I think this was the biggest. I think it was a bigger upset than both of the Strickland upsets. I think this was bigger.
Yes.
It's definitely over Hamzat. I think this was
definitely
bigger
over Hamzat. It's definitely been over. I don't think this is bigger than Izzy. I don't think this is bigger than Izzy. I think
Ilya was undefeated.
Here's the thing. Nah, I think for me, Gaethje, like I think stylistically, Gaethje was a really brutal matchup for Ilia Topuria. And I said it going in, I was not going to pick against Ilia Topuria, but I said that Gaethje, like stylistically, it's not the best matchup, but Ilya is just miles better than Gaethje. And obviously it didn't pan out. The stylistic matchup didn't work out. I think with Izzy and Strickland, like there was no way in the world I saw Strickland winning that fight.
Yes, but Izzy was still coming off the Pereira loss. Ilya, I damn near thought he was invincible. Like, I did not think Izzy was invincible because we've seen him lose. We had not seen Ilya lose. And also, Justin,
same thing with Hamzat.
And Justin finished him. Strickland went to a decision. I think that also factors in a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I guess. But
yes, I do agree with this, though. Alex Pereira was definitely overly rated, by me included. You know, I'm kind of part of that clump. Gon was definitely the more natural heavyweight. Can definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm picking Armin to beat Gaethje. I'm picking Charles to beat Gaethje. I think Max would beat Gaethje at 155 again. I think BSD would probably lose.
I would pick BSD over Gaethje if he beats Patty. I want to see what he does against Patty. I think right now, with how I see that fight going, wink, wink, there's my early prediction on that fight. I can see BSD beating Gaethje.
I don't know.
Which is crazy to say because I thought BSD was one of the most overrated fighters a year ago.
Well, that's kind of why. Like, I feel like the Poirier fight kind of showed us what would happen in a Gaethje fight.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Because that was a dog fight.
Mm-hmm.
Then who does Gaethje beat? I think he beats Benoit. I think he beats Patty. I think he beats Fiziev. I think he beats guys like that. Like, I think he beats... I don't think he beats any of really, like, the top 4 or 5.
Gaethje is the guy who... He's going to beat guys that are strikers, like Ilia Topuria. Like, guys that are really just boxers and don't have much other MMA skills. That's kind of how I see Gaethje. But, I don't know.
The next match is highly likely to be Arman versus Gaethje or Charles versus Arman for vacant title if Gaethje retires. I'm picking Arman in both.
I'm picking Arman in both, too. Arman beat Charles the first time, so I think the second time it's going to make sense. But, yeah.
That will be crazy fights, though.
Yeah. You want to wrap it up?
Yeah. Hey, any last questions? Get them in right now before we peace out. This is a good time to remind y'all, we are going to drop our Cop versus Horiguchi picks tomorrow or Friday. It is going to come out very soon. We just want to do the stream just to get the breaking news in. We have 14 people in the chat. That's 14 likes that we could have. We really appreciate
14
it.
Subscribers, 14 followers. You know it.
It's free. It does not cost anything to like the stream and support us. It is completely free and it's very easy to do. It is literally one tap of your phone. So we're
really
at
16 now, y'all. Come on. We appreciate the hell out of you guys.
Light heavyweight.
Yes, 100%. Not even close. Tell me right now what here's the thing. Here's the thing with light heavyweight. Okay, let me take this back. As a whole, heavyweight is worse than light heavyweight. For the title picture, heavyweight is significantly better than light heavyweight. Because at heavyweight, you have like 5 contenders. Light heavyweight, you have what, like 3? And let's be real, the 3 aren't that great, I feel like.
Okay, yeah. Sam wants Hokit Pereira.
Yeah,
right.
Potato. And you want Volkov Hokit.
I want Volkov. I wouldn't be mad at Pereira necessarily, but I don't know if that's the right fight.
Yeah. Talk about Jan O'Malley tomorrow. Hey, check out the stream like maybe 15, 30 minutes ago. We were talking about how that fight would pan out, why we're matchmaking that fight, win or loss for Petr Yan. So just rewind. We got some good comments on that. Good dialogue with that. That's one of my favorite fights that I match-made after the UFC White House. So
yeah, this was crazy. Crazy. We didn't even touch on this.
Did we touch on that in the recap?
Nah, not really. Not really.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like, I don't know. Look, Josh Hokit's Dana didn't even like that. I feel like Dana deep down doesn't like Josh Hokit, but he just knows that he's gonna make money for him, and Dana's all about free speech. So
yeah, I mean it's a Josh Hokit comment, guys. I think it's what he does. He wants eyeballs put on him. The only reason we even entertain a matchup between Hokit and Pereira, if anyone else was beating Derek Lewis and who did he fight? Curtis Blades and
in the fight of the year.
It's because Hokit sells. He's a character.
Yeah.
He should call out Dana for fighting his wife. That is crazy.
He's gonna call Dana's wife a man at that point.
Josh Hokit did dark magic on Pereira and Topuria.
Topuria versus it was funny the memes about Topuria moving up like every weight class. It was funny to see that.
Yeah, that was low-key crazy.
Potato beats Josh Hokit.
Pereira wins.
Potato beats Josh Hokit. I feel like that stylistically that's not great, but yeah. Anyways, that's all I got.
I'll stay on for a little bit if you want to peace out. I'll get the rest of these comments in if y'all have any more questions for me.
I'm good to say we don't got it. Yeah, if you got any more questions,
okay.
I just see the chat dying down, so I was like trying to.
No, chat. Y'all got to prove that you're not.
If you got anything else, let us know, man.
This is he's calling you out. You gotta give us more. You gotta give us more questions.
I will have to peace out in like 15 or so minutes, but like I got time.
We're just chilling, man. Who will Strickland fight next? It's gonna be a Hamzat rematch, bro. It'll be a Hamzat rematch. I don't see them passing on the chance to do this.
I actually don't know who let me look. It probably would be actually. I don't think I was on that recap stream, so I didn't really get to look at that. Oh no, it would be Imavov.
I'm sorry, Nazardine. Hamzat will get the rematch.
Nah, I think it would be Imavov. I think Imavov's ready for it, and I think. Well, didn't Hamzat? Well, Hamzat. No. Hamzat. Time out. Hamzat's moving up to light heavyweight. Didn't he say that?
No, he said he's ready for that. He said he's ready for a Strickland rematch. You know what?
Dana said light heavyweight. I swear Dana said light heavyweight.
Yeah, but Hamzat said Strickland rematch.
Yeah,
5 days ago. Here we go.
Not DDP. DDP just didn't he just lose to Hamzat? Yeah, that's his last fight. It's not right. He's not ready for a title shot.
There you go.
Yeah, and we also, I don't think I really want Strickland DDP at the end of the day. I want to see DDP do more. I think, is DDP fighting Usman? Is that confirmed for Oklahoma City?
It's pretty much all but confirmed. I mean,
I feel like they haven't done it, but
they got to announce that soon.
Yeah, Spivak beats Aspinall, but we aren't ready for that.
Am I right, Miami?
Yeah.
Sky Hogan, man. See, he's staying at middleweight. It's gonna be a rematch. They'll run it back. It was a split decision too. Like I think there's a merit behind it for Hamzat.
Yeah, I agree.
Much as people want to disagree with that. He literally lost the 0. Like they'll put him right back in the title, and he also sells, man. Aspinall has a win over John Jones. I completely agree with you.
Yep.
You're wildin'.
Crazy.
You're wildin', brother.
But anyways,
they gotta announce it. When is that Oklahoma City event? July
18th, I think. Yeah, July 18th. We're almost a month out. We are a month out. There's like no one on this card.
I'm pretty sure tickets are on sale too.
Tickets got to be on sale, yeah.
I don't know about y'all, bro. I'm so hyped for this card. I think this is gonna be one of the best fight nights of the year.
The OKC card?
Nah, the Baku card next week.
Oh, you're looking at that. I like that card.
Big lineup.
I like that card a lot. UFC's been doing its thing recently. I think this summer, like they're loading the summer up. I'm curious to see how the final card for the Belgrade card looks like. Abu Dhabi's always loaded. I don't feel like it's as loaded this year as it usually is, but it's still looking good. And then Philly, we'll see what we talked about. Philly, obviously, we'll see where that goes.
Most exciting divisions are welterweight and featherweight, easily.
Yeah, 100% agree with that.
Without question. Welterweight at the top, and then featherweight with the prospects. Because the prospects that are coming up in featherweight right now are freaking ridiculous.
Featherweight will be the best division in the year or two. Oh, geez. My apologies. Yeah. Prates Morales Fight Night main event. I've been seeing that rumor for Philly as like a feature bout. And that would make a lot of sense. If you have a welterweight title fight, have the title eliminator on the same night. Makes a lot of sense.
Why is the UFC feed my the killers? It's brutal, bro. It's just brutal.
Mm-hmm.
It's so brutal. But I mean, he signs the dotted line. He chooses to go to war with these guys.
Yeah, credit to him for that.
He also has no leverage. Ever since the Conor situation, he just has to fight now, and it's kind of fucked up. But
yeah, the Conor situation kind of.
But sorry, back to Prates and Morales. This is that would be a banger 5-rounder. It really would. I agree. Prates sleeps Morales.
I think sleeps is crazy, but
no, it's not crazy. Prates will knock him out.
Yeah,
I'm picking Prates to knock out everyone except Islam. Like, he's head and shoulders above him. Yeah, Prates wins, yo.
I think Prates wins. I don't think I think Sleeps is a little interesting, but you never know.
Well, Prates is going to win. It's not going to be a decision. He's winning violently.
That's valid. Van versus Bertoja. Who do I got? Ooh, I think I'm going Van.
Yeah, I've been on the Van train from the jump. I picked him in the first fight. There's no reason for me to pick against Van in the second fight. So
I don't think I'm picking against Van after we did the Tyra.
I will say though, if whoever wins between Kopp and Kyoji, they will have the best shot of beating Joshua Van.
I agree.
Out of everyone in the
contender. I think the fight this weekend is way more consequential than people realize. I think that could really shape up the flyweight division.
If Kyoji beats Kopp, I might pick Kyoji to beat Joshua Van.
It would be crazy if Kyoji gets another title shot.
But Prates will handle Brady, bro.
If Morales handles Sean Brady, then Prates is going to handle Sean Brady. I know Sean Brady was dominant in his last fight, but still.
Telling y'all, man, that Saruya fight was the one, bro. That was the one. I used that to back up every argument for Van, and it was the Saruya fight.
That was the first fight between two people born since the turn of the millennium, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So
and hey, that Saruya win is aging really well with how good Ray Saruya looked last time out.
Oh yeah. I think I got to head out, my friend. But if you want to keep going, feel free.
Yeah,
guys, appreciate y'all tuning in. Shrikar's going to stay, answer some more questions. Give us some follows below. We got 14 people in here. Shrikar's going to carry it home. But Shrikar, great as always. I will catch you, brother.
Catch you, man.
We will be back for predictions. So take care, y'all.
Coming very soon. All right, y'all. It is just me and you. Brady could give him problems. I just don't. I think if it stays on the feet long enough, Prates will do it. And he's going to have the reach advantage. If you have physical advantages over Brady, I think that gives you such a boost. So I'd still pick Prates to do it pretty easily. I think he'd knock out Brady. Joshua Van and Charles Johnson rematch. Charles Johnson is such an interesting case, yo. And shout out to Energy because I got to talk to him at International Fight Week. But I don't know how he does it, bro. I really don't know how he does it. But it's a loss that Van had to take. It was a loss that Lonnie Kavanaugh had to take, you know? So it's all for the better at the end of the day. It's one punch or one takedown. What comes first? Punch. Starts on the feet. Starts on the feet for sure. So I think if he gets the takedown, Prates will hopefully be good enough to get up from it. And I know the big worry is that JDM was able to take him down pretty easily, but I think he should be able to handle Brady. And also, it's pretty hard to take down Prates. Like, it's a little bit harder than you think, especially because he can keep you at the end of a jab. That's such an important weapon to have. Does Prates have the nastiest striking in the UFC right now? Chris will defend this. Our co-host Chris, if you don't know him, he will defend it more than I would. But yes, he does. I think Prates is the best striker in the UFC right now. In terms of what he can do all around with all 8 limbs, the elbows, the Muay Thai elbows, the knees, probably the best knees in the UFC, his straights, he can keep people at the end of a jab. It's like elevated point fighting with like additional threats that are just folded into it. So yes, I do think he has the nastiest striking in the UFC. There are definitely a lot of good contenders, but I think the JDM fight really just proved a point, at least to me. Is Charles Johnson the Michael Johnson of flyweight? That's not a bad comp. When we think of the gatekeepers, we think of Neil Magny, we think of in women's MMA, Angela Hill, we think of Michael Johnson at lightweight. I think it's a good comp. I think it's a good comp. I would say he's almost like the Magny of flyweight, but they're all kind of clumped in the same category. It's really hard to say one is this version of another because they're all basically the same. I would not pick Prates versus Islam. I think that's where things can go a little too far. I think Islam will actually be able to find the wrestling and get to dominant positions against Prates, but I don't know. I think Garry stylistically If he just had finishing ability, I'd probably have an easier time taking him as a plus 300 dog. But the fact that he's so pillow fisted really just hurts. Ian Garry high kick and oblique kick was enough to beat Prates in the takedown threat. Sometimes it's all you need, bro. Strickland just works off a jab and a teep. And he's now the champ, and he beat Khamzat Chimaev. So sometimes all you need is simple weapons, and you just let it develop, and people can't stop it. I mean, Gaethje was literally only working off a jab and an uppercut. There really wasn't much else he was doing, which is, again, why I think that Ilya, if he was a little more calculated, and he would have won that fight. Like, he would have. I'll stand by it. And I think once the dust settles on this fight, people will start to think the same, but neither here nor there. Prates would scare me against MVP, but I trust Prates kills MVP. Y'all know how I feel about MVP. Said I'm biased. Yeah, that's all right, Tyler. I'm just calling it how it is. I know, man. I know. But yeah, I don't know. Prates and MVP is such a weird matchup, you'd think, but Prates can basically do MVP does, but better. And the fact that MVP refuses to engage in contact during his fights, Prates will force him to engage. And that's kind of the problem. Because once he does engage in a technical fight with Prates, he's losing. He's 100% losing. And I think he would get slept. Yes, takedown defense is in Clipper X, but also it is easier said than done. Because we did say the same thing for JDM, but what we can say about Garry is he at least has the physical advantages, you know? So he's shown it in the past. And if it does get to the ground, it can be a threat, but Islam is so good at just dominating people on the ground that it really may not matter. It may not matter how good his jiu-jitsu is or the fact that he trains at Chute Box, because if he can't defend the wrestling in the first place, Islam will just camp on top of him. Prates would win a rematch against Ian. I think so too. Especially looking at that 5th round in that fight. Prates could have finished it, you know? So I do think Prates would win a rematch. Yeah. So you know what's crazy? I only realized this after Mike Perry fought Nate Diaz on the MVP card. MVP and Mike Perry fought in bare knuckle. It's pretty crazy. And I'm pretty sure MVP didn't even get knocked out. It went to like a decision or something, which is crazy. But yeah, that's almost like a forgotten fight for me. How would Strickland versus Garry go if Garry moved up? I think Strickland would get it done because they both want to do the same thing. And if they're both willing to just keep it up and point fight, I'm going to take Strickland just based off the fact that middleweight is his natural weight for one. But also, I think he can just point fight better than Garry, and he's shown he has finishing power in the sense that he has better volume than Garry. Garry may be a little bit more technical, but I think it's pretty 50-50 on the side of technicalness-ticity-ism. But when it comes down to finishing ability, I'd favor Strickland. Shavkat won against Garry by cage clinch for full round. He didn't do anything and could not even take down Garry. It's just hard for me to put any stock in that Shavkat fight because we have not seen him since. So we don't know whether that win aged good or bad. Obviously, the Prates win aged well. Belal is not aging the best, but the fact of the matter is the fact that he almost finished Shavkat is reason enough for me to believe that he is going to be hanging around in fights, at the very least. And I think that could pose a problem. And as I mentioned, the physical advantages. If Khamzat enlisted in Kadyrov's army for 6 months and didn't train, and Strickland only trained by beating up influencers in the gym in his underwear for 6 months, who he got in the rematch? So basically, John's question, because this is what they do anyway. Yeah, still Strickland. This is literally their training regimen to begin with. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. I feel for Shavkat too. I know I came on here and I said he was overrated and everything, but from a human side of things, this really does suck for Shavkat. And he will go down as a big what if. I think he is the biggest. Well, I'm not going to say Zabit is a what if because I know what would have happened to Zabit. But when we think of the big what ifs in MMA history, I think Shavkat is definitely up there because I don't really know if he's going to come back at all, let alone if he's going to come back the same, you know? So it's an unfortunate case. Shavkat was definitely good, but my whole take was I never thought he would get the belt. I think he would just hang around that top 5. But yeah, it really sucks to see. It really does. I never understood where y'all were seeing Zabit definitely had potential, but against like the whole top 5 of the division, the entire top 5 of featherweight would have beat Zabit. Like, I don't think he would have stood a chance. His cardio was not good to begin with. The man was going to war with Kyle Bochniak. Like, I don't know. He was a fun guy to watch. I'll give y'all that. And I guess his name ends with OV, so that led y'all to believe that he was something crazy. But he definitely had potential. I don't think he was ever going to come close to a belt. Volk would have decimated him. Absolutely smoked him. Wasn't Ian Garry taking responsibility for injuring Shavkat? Ian Gary's a very good fighter, but I don't like him as a person. I did not see that. Can you elaborate on that, John? When was he taking responsibility for the injury? Because if he is, it kind of depends how he phrases it, but that's kind of an interesting thing to say. I think Ian Garry is not a bad person. I think Ian Garry gets a very bad rep because he talks shit. But like every fighter in the UFC talks shit. And the whole thing with him being a cuck. But that's neither here nor there, you know? I think Ian Garry is a cool guy. I don't think he's someone that I actively dislike. I'm happy for him. I'm happy he got his title shot. He's backed up his talk every step of the way. I thought he was overrated. Also, people acted like he was slaying all kinds of champs overly, fight like he beat mid fighters and Ian Garry. That's it. Are you talking about Shavkat? Yeah, I don't know. Shavkat fought in 2024 and isn't fighting till 2027. Yeah, this is a long layoff and it's multiple knee surgeries. Like, that's a very, very huge red flag. Like, I'm telling y'all now, I'm going to pick against Shavkat in his next fight. And I think all 3 of us will. Me, Chris, and Sam will probably all be picking against Shavkat. Will Volk win against Evloev in his next match? Yes, Volk will. Movsar definitely showed me a lot of stuff in that Lerone matchup. But I honestly think Lerone would have been a tougher matchup for Volk than Movsar is. I think Volk should easily handle Movsar. And that's going to be another 0 that goes in 2026. So interesting to think about. He did say he injured Shavkat with an oblique. And then the caption was something like, is this where Shavkat's career ended? I'm going to check that out, actually. Because, damn, that is pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. It wouldn't shock me. Obviously, oblique kicks can tend to do that. And God forbid, John Jones was using that every fight. But we saw Khalil Roundtree use it as well. That wouldn't shock me. If Khabib hadn't retired when he did, how long would he have gone undefeated in the UFC, and who would have eventually beaten him? As crazy as it sounds, well, one, I do think he would have lost at some point. It's very hard to go undefeated in MMA. I really wanted to see Khabib and Tony. Prime Tony would have been very interesting. I will say that. And I know a lot of people may think otherwise because they think of Tony and they think of what's happening right now with him. Prime Tony would have done some stuff to Khabib. Personally. At least that's what I think. Ian oblique kick is devastating. Oliveira or Makhachev? Are you asking... What do you mean? Because we've seen the fight before. But if they rematched it, Islam's going to win again. I don't... Oh, you're saying Oliveira or Islam probably would have beat Khabib, which is what I think you meant. Oliveira and Khabib would have been a very interesting matchup, actually. I don't think Khabib and Islam would have ever fought. I think Khabib would have he would have gone up to welterweight by the time that Islam was coming up at 155. I think a better question is, would Khabib have gotten double champ? Would he have beat Kamaru? I don't think he would have beat Kamaru. So I think Kamaru would have beat him at 170, and then I think Prime Tony could have beat him at 155. Yeah, I think this is a fair argument. This is definitely a fair argument. Because Usman basically, like, obviously he's a great wrestler and whatnot, but the size that Usman had, like, Usman looks natural at middleweight. You know what I mean? Like, he would have outsized the hell out of Khabib. Khabib too one-dimensional. But yeah, I agree. Even on the feet, Kamaru would have been levels above. Makhachev wouldn't have fought Khabib, and Islam submitted Olives, and Khabib was even better on the ground. Define better. I think there is a layered argument to who was better on the ground between Islam and Khabib. And it mainly has to do with the fact that they're two different people on the ground. I think Islam passes a lot more than Khabib does, and he's a lot more active on the ground. I think Khabib was more of position and going for control over actively just moving around and trying to get to his spots. So I can agree, and I can also disagree. So it's a bit of a nuanced argument, but you could argue either way, and I would hear it out. Islam would have beat Prime Kamaru. Prime? I don't know if he would have beat Prime. Islam. Many people are praising Khabib after Ilya versus Gaethje fight. Man, didn't even break a sweat. That was also a different Gaethje, though. I think when we make these comparisons, we have to think about the context surrounding each of these fights. Yeah, and I'm not taking anything away from Khabib because, yes, objectively, that was a much better performance than what Ilya put on. Back in that time, I think Khabib, and also Khabib was facing adversity from Gaethje, and he openly admitted it. Gaethje is a tough fight for anyone, but yes, it was an impressive performance, but I do think he dealt with adversity a little better than Ilya did. If Ilya was just a little more calculated, he would have done it. Yes, MMA math never works. We have learned that the hard way. Islam and Khabib have different grappling styles, and Islam is more patient and sets traps and waits for his opponents to make mistakes. Khabib was very aggressive and chased his positions and damage. Yes, no. I think I'd honestly flip it slightly. I think Khabib was more patient on the ground. I think Islam was actively seeking damage more than Khabib was. But I would honestly, that's a good video idea. That's a really good video idea. Maybe we do a video on that. It'd be really interesting. Islam's style is staying on ground and looking for submission. Khabib styles. Yes, I agree with this. I think Islam was way more active in trying to do damage on the ground. Not saying that Khabib was not settling, but if he got to a dominant position, that's where he would stay. And he did that a lot in the Edson Barboza fight and pretty much every fight. He did in the Conor fight too. But once he found his spot, he was content with just riding out the position for the rest of the round. And if he managed to land damage during it, 10-8, you know? Yes, he's a more complete version of Khabib. He's like the fully developed version of Khabib, which is crazy to say. And obviously Khabib was his coach, and we got to give him credit there. You could easily tell like who was the student and who was, the OG, because Islam basically capitalized on everything that Khabib was doing and added his own layers to it. Did you know Khabib lost to Gleison Tibau? Yes, I did know that. I also know that Dominic Reyes beat John Jones, but hey, we can't change history, can we? And Tony Ferguson agrees with me. Yeah, that Gleison fight is always going to be there. There's always one thorn in every champ's resume and every GOAT's resume. Obviously, with GSP, it was Matt Serra, and Khabib is Tibau. John Jones is going to be Dominic Reyes because I don't know what y'all think anymore, but I still think that Reyes won that fight. I know a lot of people have kind of changed their tunes on it. Yes, we also know Volkov beat Gane. Yeah, that also happened. But now we have to pretend like it didn't. Khabib has better ground and pound than Islam. I don't think so. I don't think so. It's very close. Very, very close. Actually, you can make the argument either way. I'd slightly lean Islam. I think in terms of submissions, I would take Islam. DJ lost to Dominic. Yeah, exactly. And he lost to Cejudo. Do you think Ian would be Islam's toughest fight at welterweight or Michael Morales? I think Ian is going to be the toughest test, to be honest with you. Morales, they're both going to be tough. I think Ian is the toughest test so far. I am very worried for Morales' size and what that would pose, but I think Morales' wrestling defense is worse than Ian Garry's is. So I think that's a big difference there. Islam is Pantoja Sr. Elaborate on that. What does that mean? Could you and a friend beat Paul Felder? No. I would love to talk shit and say that I can beat MMA fighters with the help of friends. I feel like the classic question that I always get from people that find out that I like MMA is, would you and 3 other people, or would you and 5 other people beat Alex Pereira? It's the classic question. And I always answer no. No. 5 others, yes. But if it was me and a friend, absolutely not. Protest toughest test. Definitely no bias. Islam lost to Pantoja Sr. Oh, yeah. How Morales dropped from 212 to 170 is shocking. Yeah, Morales is literally a light heavyweight fighting at 170. Pretty insane. It's like, I will never, weight cutting as a whole, I'm never going to understand. Never going to understand. I'm on a cut right now, and that's hard as it is, and I'm taking this one slow. I don't know how fighters drop 50 pounds in the matter of like a week or 2. That is absurd to me. Like, I would die. I would literally die. Rather than stay at heavyweight, should Pereira drop to welterweight? If you want to kill Pereira, then yeah. Can you beat CM Punk? That, I like my chances. But I'd still probably say no. Me and a friend? Yes. By the way, CM Punk is overrated. Don't at me. Could 3 clones of you beat Pereira? 3 clones of me? Yes. Yes. I'll be arrogant. Yes. But I need to get in the gym. You know, I'm not built the way I should be. Peak fit Shrikar? Yes. Yes. Me right now? Probably not. But I still think I stand a good chance. I believe in myself. Did you watch Eddie Hall versus Tommy Fury? I did not. Wait, what happened in that fight? Can someone let me know? I don't know what happened in that fight. I saw the weigh-ins, and beyond that, I didn't really see anything else. Was that fight on Saturday? Or was it on Friday? 3 Pereiras versus 10 Paul Felders. 10 Paul Felders will win that. Let's not get too crazy. 10 Paul Felders will win that. Assuming we split them up evenly. I'd beat my clones and Pereira. Dude, could you imagine fighting a mirror image of yourself? I saw that in Naruto. For any of my anime watchers, do y'all remember that arc where they were fighting the clones of themselves? Sorry, I don't think this is a spoiler, but that'd be crazy, huh? Tommy won a decision. Good for Tommy, man. I did not pay attention to that fight. I just saw like a clip of the weigh-in, and that was as far as it went. I think Gaethje weighed more than Ilya on fight night, but since he's bigger, he would refuel more, but I don't know. That wouldn't shock me. I mean, this is his natural weight class. Well, is both of their natural weight classes, but It wouldn't shock me if Gaethje was a little bit heavier. He looked bigger in the octagon compared to Ilya. Shrikar versus Ronda Rousey. I would get armbarred in probably 2 seconds. Maybe 3. I would get armbarred off rip. She would judo throw me, toss me on the ground, and break my arm in under 5 seconds. I'm not even lying to you. I would be cooked. What's the worst injury I've ever had, and how long did it take to heal? Is there any wood that I can knock on in here? I'm going to go ahead and knock on this wood over here. I've never broken a bone. And I'm hoping that it doesn't happen. The worst injury that I've ever had, one was a pretty big scar on my knee, and that has not healed to this day. I got it in like middle school. I'm in my 20s now, so it's still there. So a visible scar is one, and I sprained my ankle. So I've luckily not gone through the ringer in terms of injuries. If I last 1 minute, she lets me hit. I don't know if I would even want to last 1 minute then. All respect to Ronda Rousey. Have you trained any martial arts before? I did boxing for a little bit. I want to get into jiu-jitsu. I think that's my next goal, because I was going to say kickboxing, but I feel like learning kickboxing is dumb hard, yo. Like, I think it's easier for me to, if I was going to train one of the arts, it would probably be jiu-jitsu. Do you know Bradley Martin, who is 260? I don't know Bradley Martin. You don't get the reference? I don't. Elaborate, Tyler. I don't get the reference. I'm not tapped in with Ronda Rousey like that. What fight pick did you get completely wrong? Gaethje and Ilya. There's a lot of fights I've gotten wrong this year. We'll cut it to you straight. I'm still leading in picks because I'm him, but I've had some bad misses this year. And to be fair, some of them were ones that like everyone got wrong. But I know JDM and Islam, people were on my case when I picked JDM and that lost. I was definitely wrong about that. I thought JDM would beat Islam, and I was wrong. Get into BJJ. I'm biased, though. I've been training BJJ for a while. How's that going, John? I definitely want to start. I'm in the Midwest, and there's some gyms around me, so I can definitely go out there and do it. It's just about finding the time, because I'm already working the job, and running the podcast is already like crazy as it is. I need to find the time for myself to just go in and train, It's a skit Rousey did a long time ago. She told some guy he could hit if he lasted 1 minute in the cage with. That is crazy. Yo, she desperate, bro. Doesn't she have a husband? Am I tweaking? I think she has a husband. That's crazy. Well, that's mad confidence for one, but I was sad to see the Chechen Wolf lose. Yeah, I had some good money going on Hamzat. Unfortunate. It's been good. I got my brown belt. Hey, Dubs, man. Give you a little clap for that, man. Good job. Keep it up. Keep going, brother. Yeah, I definitely need to hop in that gym. It'd be really nice. Are you from Rockford? Hold on, man. Zen Clipper X, who are you, bro? How you know I'm in Rockford? I just said I was in the Midwest. Are you someone I know? Reveal yourself. Yeah, I'm not from Rockford originally, but I'm living here right now. I don't know. Did I mention I'm in Rockford in a previous stream? I don't know. I could be tripping. But yeah, I've been here for 6 months now. Been here since December. I'm originally from California. I'm from the Bay Area, and I'm always going to represent. But yeah, right now for the job, I'm in Illinois. Bro got geolocated. Is that a thing? Can people just look at where I am? Does it say on the stream anywhere? Because that's low. I might need to switch that setting off. I don't want y'all knowing where I am. Hey, Bay Area. Yeah. Are you from there, Ash? You from there? Shout out to the Bay, man. You were in Syracuse before? Wait, how do you know this? How do you know this? Are you Nardwar? How do you know this, man? Am I being stalked? What does geolocated mean? I'm very confused. Do I need to turn my privacy settings off? You and Rosa? Nice, bro. Nice. Shout out to the Bay. I want to go home, man. Right now in Rockford, we're just having straight thunderstorms. I want to go home to the good weather. I'm convinced I know you. Zen Clipper X, I'm convinced I know who you are. I'm convinced. There is no way you knew that I was in Syracuse before this, because when we started the channel, it was when I got back home from Syracuse. You have to know me in person to know that. Unless you are just like an OG of the channel. You were in San Jose also. Yes, I was. Yo, I'm kind of scared. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit shook. We have Nardwar on our stream. It was pretty crazy. Is this the part where you get to reveal yourself, Zen Clipper X? Otherwise, I'm going to ban you. No, I'm playing. I'm not going to ban you. That's crazy. Wait, how do you know that? I definitely got to know you then. Were you a bigger fan of the Machida era, the Blessed era, or the Kane era? Well, frankly, I got into the sport late, but I did watch the previous fights. I would have been in the Blessed era because Max was one of the fighters that got me into the sport. You in timeout. Because how do you know the address? How do you know the address? And I can't be having addresses pop up on my stream. So I'm sorry. It's nothing personal. I just can't have addresses being popped up on the screen like that. That is crazy. How does he know me or she? We didn't see that. I hope y'all didn't. Do you think Gon is favored over Aspinall now? I think it'll be a pick'em. I see it being minus 110 on each side. Yeah, it'll be a pick'em fight, yo. Because now I think after the first fight was over, I think the odds got reduced slightly, but it wasn't exactly at pick'em odds yet. I think after this fight, it's definitely improved that Gon can hang. I got to reconsider my pick. I might pick Cyril Gon over Tom Aspinall. I'm on my way from Canada. Depending on where you are in Canada, it's probably not. Well, it is going to be a long drive, but probably not that far because I'm up north. Tom got to save the heavyweight division on God. Yeah, it's this whole eye poke situation has just cooked everything. He was going to save it, and now here we are. And for what it's worth, Gon Aspinall 1, if it kept going, was going to be an incredible fight. Like, we were in for a treat. It is just such a shame, yeah. It really is. It really is. I hope I didn't ban that guy for good. I just meant to put him in timeout, so hopefully he comes back. I just didn't want any addies popping up on my screen. I hope y'all understand that. I usually don't ban people unless they're being like crazy. And this wasn't that crazy, but I can't have any addresses popping up. Northwest or east? Oh, well, I'm in northern Illinois. So you would have to get past Wisconsin to get to me. And that's going to be a very difficult venture for you to get there, considering there are 4 lakes in your path. I wish you the best of luck. If you need a boat, just hit me up, man. I'll get you a boat and pop out here. I'm not sure if Tom will fully recover. Gon has been active in both the ring and gym. I hope Tom can close the gap. But yeah, that is kind of a underlying concern for me. Sorry, that's the right word. That is kind of like an underlying concern for me just because I don't know. You would think he just can't, he's not cleared for combat. If it would be one thing if he was training in the meantime, but to go up against such a tough stylistic matchup on the feet in Gon while not training, especially if they do this in Paris, bro, and he's going to have the home crowd at his back. Oh, man, that's going to be tough. That's going to be very tough for Tom. It really will be. Are you surprised how well Mike Perry has done outside the UFC? Not exactly. I felt like he would be good for bare knuckle. And shout out to Mike Perry. He's doing well for himself. Obviously, he was on the MVP card. He looked good in an MMA setting, albeit it was against Nate Diaz, which is like, how much stock are we going to put into that? But he looks good, man. He looks really good. I have a boat. I'd go through Michigan. You're a real trooper, man. I respect that. What type of boat is it? Will it be enough to survive the harshness of the North? Oof. It's 10:30 and I still gotta eat dinner, man. It's cooked. Still gotta. I am near you, bro. Okay. You calm down. Where are you from? Are you near my house or are you near Rockford? Because I'm getting PTSD, bro. I don't want to see I am near you, bro. You know? Haven't you seen Bloodsport? Van Damme gets the knockout blinded. And if you can't do that, you're not a real Bushido badass. Thinking about bare knuckle boxing makes my face hurt. Hey, you should watch Lethwei. Lethwei. That is the most brutal combat sport I have ever seen. Even more brutal than bare knuckle. You can do whatever you want in Lethwei. It's just, it is insane. I can't lie. I'm not taking it across the Great Lakes. I am near your house. Elaborate, Dick Shantla Ma 6642. Elaborate. We are all near you in spirit. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I really do. What you mean you're near my house? Don't you try to roll up on me, man. All right, can someone answer my question? What is geolocating, bro? Is that actually a thing? Can people like know where I am just based off the stream? Because that is scary. That is very scary. That is the case. I see you every day. All right, so you work with me. I'm in your kitchen making a sandwich, dog. You don't know Shrikar's packing, bro? Chill. You don't know that. You don't know that. I see you every day. Lethwei is crazy. I'll definitely be. Should I come in your house? No. Thought I was going to say yes? No. Don't come to my house, bro. Yeah, Lethwei is brutal, bro. You don't want to fuck with people doing Lethwei. It's crazy, dog. I'm Oh, you're trolling? Okay. Say yes, I will be in 10 seconds. Well, I don't know any of my neighbors personally. So if you know how to get into my house, good for you. I got to get an army of pit bulls. Yeah, I'd love to have a guard dog, man. Oh my God. If I had a German Shepherd, that'd be so gas. I'd unleash that motherfucker on anyone. Stream doesn't expose anything. So what's exposing it? Because how the hell did he know my exact... Well, that wasn't my address. That was my work address. Y'all still don't have my address. You watch those 5-on-5 Eastern European no-holds-barred fights? Nah. Send me a link. I'll watch it. People use the stars to locate people? Bro, we are not in 1591, bro. We have access to technology. Ain't no way people using the stars. You can use Google Maps. Don't be scared I won't rob you. I mean, there's really nothing of value for you to rob. So take that as you will. So you gonna get an ass whooping and you're not gonna get anything of value. And you'll be in a police chase. It's a lose, lose, lose. But I'd rather you just not rob me because I'm looking out for you. People on 4chan use the stars to locate a secret flag that was on stream. That sounds like a very 4chan thing to do. Are you scared? Well, I'm looking out my window. But I'm just chilling because my door is locked. So, no, I'm chilling. I seen the Backrooms movie, bro. By the way, Backrooms, I don't know if y'all watched Backrooms. Backrooms was mad disappointing. I did not think Backrooms was that scary. Like, I really did not. I know it's like a certain type of horror and people are like goo goo gaga over that shit. It wasn't that scary. Why do MMA fighters always cross over to boxing, but boxers never test themselves in the cage? Because they're scared, bro. Boxers will never come to MMA because they know what will happen. And they know that the bigger payday lies in boxing rather than going to MMA. So a lot of horror movies are disappointing. I heard Obsession was good. Don't spoil it for me because I have not watched Obsession. So I've heard it's good. And people have been hounding me to watch it. I have not had the time to go watch it. I'm going to watch it when it comes out on streaming. A lot of people like Hereditary. I wasn't a huge fan. Now, Hereditary was dope. Should I tell more? Preferably not, but I am getting kind of impressed at this point, so you can go ahead. If you drop an address, though, I'm going to put you in timeout. So just expect that. Yeah, no, Hereditary was a good movie. Hereditary was dope. I think Midsommar got slightly overrated. Maybe Midsommar was a great movie, you know? I think that's good psychological horror. When people said Backrooms was psychological horror, I thought I'd have nightmares for days. You know what I mean? And I didn't. So I've seen scarier movies than Hereditary, and I think it dragged on for too long. I think the pacing of it was fine. The acting was really, really good, especially from Toni Collette. I thought the framing of every shot was well done and how they try to make everything look like a miniature. I thought that was dope. I think the pacing was good, to be honest. I didn't find an issue. It didn't feel too long to me. But yes, I mean, I would say I've seen scarier movies than Hereditary, but I couldn't really name you one. Like, yo, okay. If y'all are going to say this stuff, can y'all at least reveal who you are, bro? Because you definitely looking at my LinkedIn or something. So you know who I am, and I probably know who you are. Why are we playing games, bro? Just reveal yourself. I'll say hi to you and we'll go about our day. Instead of you saying you're going to enter my house. Is this how we're doing business, bro? Come on. I just felt bored throughout the whole movie. Send me your recommendations. Send me your recs, John. Send me your recs. I need more movies to watch. I watched Doom Part 2 last night. It was dope. I've been watching World Cup too. I don't know if y'all tapped in with the World Cup. World Cup is dope. It is so dope this year. Gonjiam Haunted Asylum, Caveat, The Sadness, and Lake Mungo. That's a fun name, Lake Mungo. All right, bet. I'll write those down. I'll write those down on my phone right now. Don't be scared. Keep your windows closed while peeing. What the fuck does that mean? Elaborate, Dikshant Lama 6642. Let me see if I can see your PFP and decipher who you are. I know your house too, but I don't want to tell address. Okay. Tabitha Ritchie versus Fatima Klein at UFC OKC. That's a big fight. That is a big fight indeed. Yo, you giving me everything except your name, Brody. World Cup, World Cup. Do I play video games? Yeah, I got my PS5 over here. I don't play video games that much. Kind of just waiting for UFC 6 to drop, and then I'm gonna buy GTA whenever it comes out. I played Red Dead 2. Red Dead 2 was dope. But yeah, on occasion, like I play Madden, I play sports games, but I don't really. My boys got me Elden Ring. They got me Elden Ring, and I haven't played it yet. But they told me to get on Elden Ring. But I feel like I don't know if Elden Ring is gonna be my type of game, personally. Have you heard of a movie called Hokum? Came out recently, looks pretty creepy. I did see something on that. I saw yeah, I saw something on that. I think I saw like a trailer or like a clip or something that was spreading around and people thought it was really scary because that's like a European movie, right? The guy who directed Hokum also directed Caveat. Okay, bet. Say that. That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, Caveats. All of your recs have been added to the list. House of 1,000 Corpses. I have not played that, nor do I know what that is. But put me on. Put me on. Irish. Nice. By the way, this was wrong. I was in Citrus TV and WAER at the same time. So I know you were just looking at my LinkedIn. So Good try. Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. When I come back on stream, I'm going to have to like remind myself to watch it. When we do our next stream, remind me to watch them or like ask like about the movies, and I'll let you know, because hopefully I can get to at least one of these before we stream on Sunday. But yeah. Oh, it's a movie. No, I've not seen it. I've not seen it. You are ethnic Indian. No shit. Oh yeah, have you seen The Thing? That's a classic. Yes, I have seen The Thing. The Thing was dope. Yeah, of course I'm ethnic Indian. That did not need any deciphering whatsoever. I thought that was fairly obvious. But yes, you are correct once again, my friend. We can keep playing this game, or you can tell me who you are. This is like the setup for a horror movie. Like, I'm literally about to get slimed out in my own house right now, bro. I'm really about to get slimed out, huh? Anyways, if anyone is trying to get to me, they should not be outside right now. I'm pretty sure it's raining. I'm pretty sure we're having severe weather. So, for your own safety, I hope you stay where you are. You have just graduated in 2025. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Now, what is your name? I mean, if you want to leak all this personal stuff, then go ahead. I mean, as soon as you bring like family or something into it, that's where I'm gonna kick you. But these things, I'm cool with people knowing. But I'm still surprised you know all this, and you say you see me every day. I don't know who you are. If I do see you every day, I hope you're doing good, because I would not have seen you today, because I have been inside my house the whole time. Do you riz the ladies? Nah, man, I don't. I do not pull women. I wish I could, but no. Last time I tried to riz up a lady, I talked to her about UFC. And okay, now we're getting crazy. Well, yes, I appreciate you noticing, but now we're getting crazy. I have lost weight than before. Well, honestly, if you go back and watch our first video till now, you know I was on a cut. So that is insane. Wait, hold on. I'm getting kind of impressed. I don't know who this is. I'm like zooming in on his profile picture, but I can't decipher it. What if I like pull a reverse and look you up? What if we do it that way? Combatic. Hello, Combatic. You're from Nepal? Brother, how do you know me? I don't know any Nepal people. I was in Lake Como, Italy 2 years ago. Yeah, I was. That was a fire trip, by the way. Lake Como, I would recommend to everyone to go. That is a dope place Indeed. How would Bruce Lee have done at bantamweight in the UFC? He would have gotten smoked. It sucks to say he would have gotten smoked. How did you get 100 subs? I don't know, to be honest. I don't really pay attention to the sub count all that much. I tell y'all to sub and everything. But I appreciate the ones who just kind of engage and just talk to us. This is where I'm gonna time you out, brother. That's where I'm gonna time you out, dog. Yeah, if you bring friends and family into it, I'm gonna get a little weirded out. Shout out my brother Sar, though. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Like the stream, sub, do all that good stuff. It's all free at the end of the day. You don't got to pay. You know, a like is free. A chat is free. Engagement is all free. Subscribing is free. But, you know, what good is a subscriber if they're never going to tune into your stuff? That's just kind of the philosophy I've always had. And luckily we got a great community, man. We got a great community over here. I just like chilling on these streams and just hanging out, talking to y'all. Do you watch any MMA YouTubers? Yeah, I watch MMA Experts. He's dope. I think the way he breaks down fights is really well done. I watch Bedtime, of course. Bedtime is, I think, the funniest MMA YouTuber out right now. So I really like Bedtime. What other MMA YouTubers do I watch? I watch Guru on occasion. I can't say that I like really watch Guru in depth, but sometimes I just see his clips when he's reacting to fights and everything. What do you think of Che? I have not watched Che. I'm not sure how he is. I've never watched him. Mighty Mouse is the best one. I've seen a lot of mixed stuff about Mighty Mouse. Like, some people think that Mighty Mouse is very overrated because he should know more than he does in terms of analyzing a fight, doing all that stuff. Che is insufferable. I mean, there's a lot of like, you want to talk about insufferable? Insufferable? What's his face? Not Kenny Okoye. MMA Joey. That guy might be the most insufferable guy that I know in terms of MMA YouTubers. I don't mind the occasional cussing, but he says in every sentence it got so annoying. Yeah. You know what's crazy? Our podcast started where we all just kept it clean and we didn't swear. And it got to a point in time where we just started unleashing it. Like, we don't swear that much, but it's just kind of a thing now. I don't mind. Oh, sorry. I said that. How about Anik and Florian podcast? Hey, shout out to John Anik. I don't watch that podcast, but John Anik is definitely one of my favorite broadcasters in the game right now. I think if I had a dream trio of broadcasters, it'd be John Anik. It would be John Anik, Paul Felder, Laura Sanko. His chat is them making jokes about him being Jewish. Oh, that's annoying. Thank God y'all make fun of me being Indian. But if you guys want to, the opportunity's here. How about Ralpet Mark? He's great as well. Hey, Ralpet Mark, I'll check out your channel, bro. I'll check it out. I freaked you out? All right, because you're coming from different accounts, bro. You're going back on timeout. Bro. MMA, or I used to like Joey, but then he started being a dick towards me, and I just stopped watching him. What did he do? MMA Joey said the White House card was going to bomb and criticize the whole event for months leading up to it. Lame. Well, I'm not going to lie, bruh. I don't know how Joey was going about it. But I was critical of it. I was a skeptic, I would say, of the event. I didn't think it was going to happen logistically. I was a big fan of the fights. I loved the fights. I just didn't know whether they would make it happen. So I guess that might be the difference. But I don't know how Joey went about it. You find him hilarious? Did you see his reaction to when Strickland got the decision over Hamza? No, I didn't. Like, I just don't watch MMA Joey as much. Like I see like little clips here and there, but even from the clips I see, it's like God, I just want to punch this dude in the face. You know, like it doesn't appeal to me. I don't know who it really appeals to, but maybe the people that think exactly like him. I'm not sure. Why'd be saying you're Indian? Where are you from? Well, I was born and raised in California, but yeah, I am Indian. Like my parents are from India, so I'm new to your channel. I like it so far. Thanks. Hey, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you like it. Glad you like the content. We're trying to achieve consistency. There was like a period of time where we were just not putting out content, and I think once we got back on our horse and we started putting things out, it got a lot better, you know? Just being rude towards me. Like we were talking about movies in his chat, and I brought up a movie that I liked, but he didn't like, and he started talking crap. Bro, that's so petty, bro. Imagine talking crap because someone doesn't like a movie. That's so heinous to me. People will disagree over the craziest stuff and then take it to places that, you know, you don't really got to take it that far. It's kind of crazy. Over the an opinion, bro. Over the smallest things. I let y'all say whatever in the chat. Obviously, I put some people in timeout because they were leaking some personal stuff. But I'm never gonna get mad at y'all for an opinion. You know, if you think something, I'm never gonna shut you down on it. You can say whatever. It's a free country. Freedom 250. And then he calls the MMA community an echo chamber, but then talks crap if you disagree with him. Yeah, sometimes you just got to practice what you preach, bro. If you say some stuff like that, you got to stand on it. I've done a good job of holding myself accountable in these sort of things. That's crazy. I just feel like Joey just seemed, it's not even the fact that, well, he was definitely rude to you, but he just comes off as very fake to me. There's nothing authentic that I feel from him. A screenshot of my face and looked me up. If they did that, good job. I don't know what that means for the channel. I don't know what that means for me, but they ain't gonna catch me. So if you're gonna do that, you gotta be a low life, bro. Like I don't even have the time, bro. Go do something else with your time. Go get a girl. Go take someone out on a date. Go hang out with your friends. You really got to do all that. It's crazy. You have to watch his reaction to when Strickland got the win. Legit one of the funniest moments. All right, bet. Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll go find the clip. Loki, if you can send me a link, just send me the link. I'll look at it right now on stream. That's why I couldn't put my face on the videos yet. Yeah, man, but if I'm a YouTube channel, like I know that we're a podcast and whatnot, but if I'm going to be a YouTube channel, I don't want y'all looking at a blank screen and it's just me talking. I feel like you seeing my face is a little more visually engaging. So I get that though. I totally get that. It's a little weird. I didn't even know you could do that though. I didn't know they could just screenshot your face and then they could just find out every single personal detail about you. Like when they said like, oh yeah, you were a journalist and all that. I'm like, yeah, you could have just went to my LinkedIn, looked up my name and found that out. Like that's not hard to figure out. And if you didn't know, now you know. But the other stuff, like the address of where I was working and all this stuff was like a little weird. But I guess they could have derived that from my LinkedIn as well. If I'm in a top 10 list of funny moments in an MMA YouTube live stream, his reaction would be somewhere in there. I can only send links in chat if I'm a mod. Are we allowed to designate mods? I mean, we don't have that many subs, but I'm not sure how I do that on StreamYard. I'll look it up. I'll look it up after stream, though, John. I'll look it up after stream. I'll definitely watch it. And then remind me about it next stream. Type shit. Who will be fighter of the year? It could be Strickland. I'd say Strickland is the front runner. Strickland or Gaethje are the front runners right now. If one of them defends the belt one more time, they will be the lock for it. So in that sense, I probably lean towards Sean. Because Sean beat Fluffy by finish, then he beat Hamzat. Gaethje beat Patty, he beat Ilya. So it's either one of those two, but it just depends how the rest of the year plays out. But those two are definitely at the top. I don't know who would be 3. Probably, maybe, not Prates. Who else would it be? Yeah, it's literally just those two. Like I don't know if anyone else has an argument that even comes close to what those two have done. Let me just look up this MMA Joey. MMA Joey Strickland Hamzat. I'll pull it up. MMA Joey Strickland Hamzat. Oh, someone on Reddit has it. All right, let's pull it up on Reddit. Let's see.
It was 4-1. That's a brutal robbery. That's a brutal robbery. That's literally a brutal robbery. There's no one. There's no.
Can y'all hear this?
He lost 4-1, bare minimum 3-2. That's legitimately a robbery. That's the biggest robbery I've ever seen. That's crazy. They robbed him. They legit robbed. That's a clear as day robbery. How did he lose 1-4-5? In what universe? I mean, that's bullshit, man. That was a straight up rigged fight. I mean, that's ridiculous. I can't believe it, man. If you thought Strickland won 1-4 or 5, you're literally fucking delusional. He didn't land anything all fight. He didn't land anything. That was a straight up robbery. He fought like a bitch. Shemaev won. I mean, that's one of the worst robberies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that sounds pretty much on par with what I've seen from MMA Joey. That is pretty funny though. He was animated, man. But again, that's something just comes off fake about him. And I don't know if he's trying to play a character or something, and you guys may know more than me. He just does not seem very authentic to me. What do you think about Pereira? Did he get hit on the back of his head on the fight? He did. But the way I see it is it's like flirting versus harassment with him and Aspinall, because fans are flocking to his defense when Gon cheats against Pereira, but when he eye pokes Aspinall, suddenly Gon is the hero, you know? But yeah, no, a point should have been taken. Definitely. Poetson thought he was looking for lug nuts on the ground at the tire shop while Gon was flopping this. That's crazy. Yeah, him and Guru definitely, they're both animated. But I bet Guru was doing laps in his room when Strickland beat Hamzat. I think they skipped the best part when they first announced Strickland as the winner. He yells so loud that his mic mutes. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, I was just sitting there in shock. Okay, at some point, I'm going to give y'all fight companions. Because y'all, yeah, I feel like y'all would appreciate my reactions in real time to these fights. We got to find a way to make it work, because usually I'm at work when these are going on. So the entire newsroom will be seeing like I'm reacting to these fights. But yeah, man, if I ever got the time, I would love to do fight companions for y'all. That would be dope. That's something that me and Chris have been talking about. But unfortunately, because we work during the cards, the timing has never been there for us. But we want to. We really do. Yeah, man. It's always fun. I feel like after a fight ends, especially with Ilya and Gaethje, I was just going around and seeing what people were thinking. And sometimes these clips circulate. Sometimes it takes a week or, a few days. But usually on Twitter, there's already a whole bunch of reactions from people, and it's just fun to go through those, see what people think, because I feel like there's never a neutral take. Everyone's heavily on this side, or everyone's heavily on that side. And there's no level-headedness in the community when something like that happens, especially with Gaethje and Ilya with the big upsets. There's no level-headedness. I thought Gane was too much for Pereira. He is a true heavyweight. His hands are heavier. It's crazy that Pereira wants a rematch. I think it's going to end up the same way. I think so too. I just don't think Pereira puts on heavyweight that well. It's actually not. You could say it's his natural weight, but his optimal weight is 205. Heavyweights need to not hang out with their heads on their opponent's waistline while stationary. It leaves them open to elbows and hammer fists. Watch Brown versus Schaub as an example. I agree, but I think it goes for any division. That can apply anywhere. But usually as soon as they feel one shot to their head, they'll adjust their position. But that also doesn't invite back of the head elbows. You know, that's just something that we can't pass by. He seems slower. He could react to Gane shots. He couldn't avoid those jabs. Yeah. Oh, he couldn't react to Gane shots. Yeah, no, I completely agree. What are some must-have matchups we need to see? I need to see them. Okay, Gane Aspinall 2 we have to see. That has to happen. Merab and Yan 2, for sure we need to see that. Or sorry, 3. I'm tripping. O'Malley Yan 2 is going to be great. I still want to see Sandhagen O'Malley, but at this point, I don't even know when that's going to happen. Do you think Pereira should retire? I still think he can still go. He can still fight. There's still things that he can do. If he wanted to retire here, I don't think he'd retire on an L. Personally, I don't think he would go out like that. So I think he'll fight again. It is only a matter of time, but we'll see. I think he can go for another year or two, and he'll still be good. Other must-have matchups. I'm trying to think. Van and Pantoja, I definitely want to see. Definitely want to see a full Van Pantoja. I definitely want to see Arman fight Ilya or Gaethje. Yeah, he's 38 years old, but yeah, again, he can't go out in an L. Pereira already fought kickboxing at heavyweight in the UFC. He was weight bullying, but it's not like he hasn't competed at this weight before. He's kind of slow-footed stylistically. Yes, but also I do think Pereira brought up a good point that Gane's cardio might have been gone if it reached championship rounds. And it is his fault that it didn't get there. It's completely Alex's fault. But that was what I was saying on my predictions video. I feel like Gane is so big that he can't move the way he moves for 5 rounds. He will eventually lose the cardio. And then once he does and it's an even playing field, I think Pereira would have had the massive power advantage. He would have taken advantage. But good on it's a good job on Gane. He didn't let it get to that point. Albeit he did cheat. He cheats in every fight. It was still a win. Thought on Gane's shots on Alex's head. Do you agree with Alex that Herb should be fired? Also his lawsuit to make the loss a no contest. I think a lawsuit is crazy. They're not appealing this. Herb is long in the tooth. He definitely is. Should he be fired? I don't think the UFC will go that far, considering he is. Would y'all say he is the face of the referees around the UFC? I feel like him, people like Big Dan. I think Herb is kind of the face, though, you know? So the UFC won't let go of someone like him like that. Unless he makes like egregious mistakes. But this is pretty much on par for Herb. He's very, very bad at his job. I'm sorry to say. I'm so sorry to say to Herb. Respect, but, you know. Is he better than Herzog, though? I don't know. I don't know if he's better than Herzog. And to be fair, they both make their fair share of mistakes. But I feel like with Herb, it comes more often and in the bigger moments. Mark Goddard is good. I honestly really... Goddard can be occasionally bad, but for the most part, people do complain about the early stoppages. I'd much rather have a ref that stops a fight early than stops a fight late. Okay? You know, I would much rather have that. Would it be better for Alex's image if he didn't complain about the loss, even though a few blows might have been misplaced? No, he's definitely within his rights to complain about it. It's just how the fan base will perceive it. They're not going to take that the right way. Well, I guess they are. But when Aspinall was complaining about a blatant eye poke, they had a big problem with it. But with Pereira, even though he got knocked out right after the shots, and he probably wouldn't have survived either way, he got dropped before it. Suddenly it's defend Alex, you know? I just hate the two faces of MMA fans. You know? They will defend their guy and put another guy down. They won't keep it consistent. So I don't think it's bad for Alex's image. I think if it's only going to be bad if you look at it as a bad thing. That's what I'll say about it. You're right on the endurance, but I think that Pereira has been knocked out too many times. The other fighters probably feel like Pereira can be knocked out if he gets hit on the side of his head. I did think his chin would be better at heavyweight because I'm always a fan of moving up rather than moving down. So I thought his chin would be solid. If it was good at light heavyweight, I thought it'd be good here. So I don't know. Gon really just caught him. Why are some back of the head shots legal, but over a certain line they're not? Like, how do you even accurately judge it consistently? I think it's more of a heat of the moment thing. They're all illegal, but some fighters just choose, or some refs choose to let it go. Some are too scared to step in. Some are too scared to enforce. And I think that happened with Herb. I mean, Herb is going out and defending it, but those are illegal shots. Like, those are back of the head shots. I don't think Pereira can last past 2 rounds on heavyweight just because he doesn't have defense. He can against the right opponents. First off, Aspinall would demolish him. I had that take from Jump. I said if Pereira ever moved up to heavyweight, Aspinall gets it done in the first round. And I still stand by that. Aspinall would get it done in the first round. But if he fights like a Volkov, he will last. He will last. Thoughts if Herb stopped and reset the fight because those shots could have changed the... Yeah, and I think that's what should have happened. I don't know if it would have changed the course of the fight. I still think Pereira was on his way to being finished, which is why I do feel that it's so much different from the Aspinall situation because we don't know what would have happened if Aspinall didn't get eye poked. That's like a big what if that hopefully gets answered when Gon and Aspinall come back and give us the rematch. But you should have stopped it. You should have stopped it, took the point away from Gon, and kept it going. If Pereira survives to round 3, then on the scorecards, it is a different fight. Did you know Jamal Hill's best career KO was against his brother at the dinner table? Is that true? I feel like it's a meme, but is that true? Like Goku, yeah, man. Like he gets Alex out of there quick. And for what it's worth, I'm still gonna hold on to it. Aspinall gets John Jones out in the first round. Not even a close contest. Yeah, a verbal warning could suffice, but it depends how much you want to enforce the rule because those were clear back of head shots. And I don't want to say this because it is a little bit unfair, but you know Gon's past as a dirty fighter. You got to take a point. You got to take a point. You got to lay down the law, you know, if you're a ref. And sometimes they do a really good job of that, sometimes they don't. Real quick, y'all, I'm going to grab a charger. My computer's about to die. Hey, congratulations, y'all. This is our longest live stream to date. And we still got 7 to 10 people in here. So we really appreciate y'all, man. Really appreciate y'all. Can we make it to 3 hours? Is the big question. Do you think we will see a rematch on Justin and Ilia Topuria? Yes, we will. I hope so. I hope that's the case. I would really love that. And I think Ilya's deserved it. It's a little bit more of a mixed line with Khamzat, but I think with Ilya, he's definitely deserved it. Great stream. Hey, thank you, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for tapping in. Doesn't happen without you, man. Just happy, man. I'm happy I have a platform to talk to y'all just about MMA. This is a break from my daily life. It's always been that way. And even though I don't have Chris or Sam with me, it's always great to have y'all in chat. Prime John Jones loses to Aspinall. Y'all are going to hate my answer. Y'all would hate it. Yes. I think Justin will retire before Justin takes the rematch. I hope he does. That would be the right move because I'm being serious. I mean, I don't know how the financials are going to work, and I don't know if how good the money will be for his next fight. And no one really retires in MMA. Like, let's be real. I said this after Dustin too, and Dustin is already talking about a comeback. You know, I think Justin should retire. He's also taken so much damage in his career. This is the best possible way to go out. It really is. What more does he have to prove at this point? Is a title defense really going to move the needle? I don't think so. It's an interesting discussion. Yeah, I feel like it's an interesting discussion. I don't think it's unanimous John Jones. He probably gets back the loss from Charles Oliveira and then retires. I could see that. And stylistically, it's a less dangerous fight for him. But if they're going to give him like an Armin, there's no point in taking that fight for him. There really isn't. Neither is an Ilya rematch, to be honest. Aspinall's only weapon is the blitz, nothing Jones hasn't seen. Well, Tom can also defend the wrestling. He can grapple. He's good everywhere the fight goes. And Jones is not a natural heavyweight. Like, say what you will about John Jones. The Stipe fight, I don't even care about that. The Gane fight, he looked pretty out of shape in the Gane fight. And credit to him for still getting it done. I think an in-shape Aspinall, who is more of a natural fit. Like, I don't think Aspinall is going to get done like Gane. He really would not. Completely agree with you on Justin. Yeah, man. He should just go out like this. 5-year retired Stipe was touching Jones's chin. So yes, I agree. Tom would have flatlined John. Jones knew it, so he refused to fight him, turned down 30 mil and retired, gave up the belt. Hey, I agree with every single word in this sentence in sequential order. And I have been preaching this for so damn long. And I wish I had Chris in here because Chris is our biggest John Jones fan, the big John Jones defender. I'm probably the biggest John Jones hater in here. So to all the John Jones fans, I'm very sorry. And I know I can be a little annoying with that, but with John Jones out of the picture, I don't feel like I have to talk about him anymore. But yeah, dude, John's a duck. He is a duck. Fits all the criteria. He did not want to face Tom Aspinall for a reason. And we do have a video on this. I think if you go back to the moment John Jones retired, we probably have a video on that. It's one of the earlier videos on our channel. I forget what it's called exactly. But, oh man, when John Jones retired, I was running victory laps, bro. That was such a fun day. And the fact that he didn't even announce it, it was Dana at after a random fight night. God, what a day. Ilya wins more from a rematch. If Justin doesn't give Ilya the rematch, it's going to hurt Ilya to his grave. Yeah, it's definitely going to follow him, but it's also going to be like, we're going to see what Ilya is made of. I could say the same thing about Khamzat. If he doesn't get that rematch, this is going to follow him wherever he goes. It'll be a stain. And for someone like Ilya, you do wonder. I mean, I don't think his confidence is going to be shattered from this because I think he's the type of fighter that's going to come back and really make the adjustments and know what he did wrong. He made no excuses after the fight. He realized what he did. I think he'll be okay, and I hope the recovery goes well for him. He's still one of my favorite fighters. It's an unfortunate scene, but this is the game we play. This is MMA. Yeah, I cannot stand Jon Jones. But who has Aspinall fought that has very good wrestling? Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades has really, really good wrestling. Albeit he didn't use it. But we know why. Because Aspinall got it done before he could even utilize it. The man has he has pistons. Aspinall can really hit. I mean, the fact that he knocked out Sergey was probably insane. And honestly, if Sergey and Aspinall rematched, I give Sergey more of a chance than I give Jon Jones in a potential fight with Aspinall. I really do. And I think that might be a hotter take. But I really like what I saw from Sergey. And that's a guy that can really stand and bang in a brawl. Now, if it goes to the ground, a whole nother question. But I don't... It wasn't happening in the first fight, so... I think the last guy Aspinall took down was Volkov, who's gotten taken down so many times by other guys. That's exactly why Hoke beats Volkov. Volkov has no defense. No takedown defense. The single leg is right there for you to grab. How can you have the GOAT not fighting for more than a decade? His fighting style is inspiring, but the GOAT... I will take Khabib 100%, even though I don't like him either. I don't even think Khabib is the... I low-key think Khabib gets very overrated by people. And it's nothing against Khabib. I get how great he was. It's a resume thing. I really don't feel like... hold on. Let's pull up Khabib's resume. I could probably do this on like Tapology or something. I will obviously give him credit for Gaethje Poirier McGregor. Good stretch. He got his belt off Al Iaquinta. I mean, everyone's going to be Al Iaquinta. You know what I mean? Edson Barboza was a good win for sure. Michael Johnson was cool. Daryl Horcher, RDA, Pat Healy, Trujillo, Tavares. Probably should have lost to Tibau. Who in the world is Kamal Shaloris? Ara Marcel Santos. Shout out to my guy Marcel Dorf. And then it's just a bunch of nobodies. I mean, there's Magomedov. 3-9. That is the most Russian fighter I've ever seen in my life. Like, I think his resume is so overrated. Like, it's... If he kept fighting longer, it'd be a different discussion, but I can't get behind a Khabib GOAT argument right now. I think Islam is way closer to it than Khabib is. Islam might damn near be the GOAT already. Luke Thomas and others confirmed the UFC offered him the 30 mil he was asking for. He still turned it down. He also ducked Ngannou for 3 years while bulking. Yeah, I remember Ariel was talking about that too. Shout out to Ariel. Also went to Syracuse. Yeah, it's not a good look. It really is not. Gane is extremely athletic and has underrated grappling, and Jones made light work of him. Gane does not have good grappling. I mean, Ngannou pretty much took him down at will. Tom shot a very bad takedown in that fight. How do you feel about Josh Hokett? How far can he go? I don't think he beat Gane. I don't think he beats Tom Aspinall. I lean towards saying he doesn't beat Pereira. He will beat Volkov. So there is an outside chance he gets a title shot. But odds are he may lose before then. But he will be, he is serious. I think he is going to be like a top 5 guy. But I don't know. It's also because this division is so shallow. And I want to see how the people who move up from light heavyweight to heavyweight do, because we have Johnny Walker, we have Rakic. And I like Rakic, man. I really still believe he has it in him. And I'm glad he's moving up to heavyweight. It has been so hard to defend Rakic recently. But Rakic, Johnny Walker, Jamal Hill is moving up. So we'll see what happens there. Who's the last guy Aspinall fought where Aspinall uses... Yeah, it was Volkov. Hey, what up, Juice Man? What's up, my brother? How we doing, bro? You were right on Khabib. Olympic wrestler from Iran with heavy hands. Wrestling is not MMA though. Just as an example, Marcus Buchecha is a world champion grappler. And it's Marcus Buchecha. You know what I mean? Yeah, Juice, I think you have been here. I remember seeing you one time, bro. Welcome back. Welcome back. And Ngannou is a very physical and athletic guy, though, that makes a huge impact in grappling. Even if you're a good grappler, grappling with a very physical and athletic guy is still tough. Yes. But even then, I feel like Tom has like the right size to mess with Ngannou in the grappling. I don't think there's a disparity there. John definitely had the size on him. I will say that. Gane is different than Aspinall and Ngannou for Jones. Gane's a French kickboxer. Styles make fights. Styles do make fights. That is very true. But I do feel that Aspinall can more or less do the same things to Gane that John Jones did. But one, he definitely prefers to just keep it on the feet and see where he's at. And again, it was a feel-out round in round one. We don't know what would have happened in the second or third round. And Aspinall still was like, it says something when that was the worst Tom Aspinall I think has ever looked in his career. And he still, you could argue, took the round. It's just something to think about. How you been, bro? How you been, Juice Man? How was your day today? Yeah, John is not coming back. I think and people have asked me if Conor is done after this Max fight. I think win or lose, we're going to see Conor back in the UFC again. It'll probably be for like one more, and then he'll call it. I also don't know how this deal with Conor is working out, because he said on the Helwani show today that he's basically, his next fight is already slated for April 2027, which I think is smart business by Dana, but that really kind of screws over Conor because he's going to have to wait a long time. JJ might try to push for a fight against Pereira just because he saw how easy Gane made it look. Yeah, that's just the guy he is. That's what pisses me off, bro. And then everyone that compares the Gane fight that he had to Pereira, and like, it's very different. I think Gane is a much different fighter than he was during that John Jones fight. He is a lot better. And that's what I have to give him. He made the necessary adjustments that he had to. I think Gane versus Jones, again, if they ran it back, would be a lot different. I do. I'm not counting Conor completely out of the Max fight. There's still something lingering there as far as power, but I'm picking Max. I can't count anyone out anymore. I said, well, I did give Strickland a shot against Hamza. I said Gaethje had no shot against Ilya. And look what happens. At this point, I might as well just pick Ian Garry. I think there is a plausible outcome for Garry beating Islam. Might as well. Take the shot on the plus underdog because all the favorites are losing this year. I knew, as I was saying it about Gaethje and Ilya, I knew I shouldn't have said that because I knew I jinxed it. But I really felt that Gaethje had absolutely no chance to win that fight. It is pretty solid. He should have taken it. That's why there had to be another reason. Hint, hint, we know the reason why Jones didn't take the fight. The money was good. The money was very good. Islam has never fought someone the size of Garry. I was talking about with Sam earlier in the stream, but I don't think this is unlike anyone that Islam has seen in the UFC. He is like, I can't compare it to any of his previous fights. It's not like the Dustin fight. It's not like JDM. It's not like Volk. It's not like Charles. It's very different. After Gane beat Pereira, Jones put out a bragging video where he's wearing a goat necklace and bragging about his win over Cyril. Again, Aspinall and Ngannou are the real bad matchups for John Gane. Yeah, he's just annoying, dude. Just keep chirping on the sidelines. You're retired. We don't care about you anymore. Pick Gaethje and went to war with all the Topuria fan people. Hey, good on you for holding your ground. I counted him out. I counted him out. Yes, Garry cannot grapple as well as Islam, but I think Islam is going to have a much tougher time getting to the positions he wants to on Garry. But if it does get to that spot, then obviously Garry is cooked, but it might be a little tough. He's going to have to walk through fire to get there. But again, Gary's not going to finish Islam. Like, that's not going to happen. Either Islam finishes Garry or it goes all 5. But knowing how this year has gone, Gary's going to submit Islam or something crazy. And also the fact that I think Islam is still 1 win away from breaking the win streak record. Something is going to go wrong, right? Like, something has to go wrong. Silva's record they'll be tied, but I don't know. It makes me a little sus, just a little bit. Nonstop hate for picking Gaethje. Yeah, I wouldn't say I was going to shit on you. I was going to say you were wrong or whatever, but like, I wasn't. Again, bro, if you want to pick Gaethje, that's your opinion. And if you have a plausible argument that you want to bring to the table, I'm all ears. I'm all ears for any of that stuff. Me personally, I didn't see an outcome for him. But good on you, Juice Man. Good on you, bro. I hope you, well, I don't encourage betting, but if you put currency on Gaethje, there you go, bro. That's that money. Do you think Islam has sex with goats on the cliffside? Do you think Islam is still favored if it goes 5 rounds, or would he be in neat danger? If it goes 5, I think it's not necessarily the end of the world for Islam. Islam's fight went 5 rounds with JDM. He just kind of dominated and controlled. If he does that for 5 rounds, so be it. I really hope Garry watches a lot of tape and he moves a lot in the ring. If Garry stays still and tries to engage with Islam's going to wrestle. He's going to win. I agree. He cannot throw kicks. That is the biggest thing. He cannot throw kicks. JDM threw 1 kick and Islam shot on it immediately. And that is going to neutralize a bit of Gary's game. And I'm really interested to see, with that takedown threat there, what does that do for Garry? Because he tends to use everything. If he's just restricted to a jab and a teep, or not even the teep in this case, because I said no kicks. If he's just restricted to a jab and a straight, and he has no finishing power to begin with, I don't know. I'm definitely hearing the arguments for both sides on this fight. Unless Garry has a miracle kick save for the fight. Imagine if Garry pulled off something like the Leon Kamaru knockout. I'd just say let's advance to 2027. I'd say let's just move on. I do think this is Islam's toughest test yet. I agree. Because JDM, he technically is a natural welterweight. Garry is a freaking welterweight, bro. Like, this is a physical, not a nightmare for Islam, but it does pose a lot of threats for him. Garry might get cocky, but he looks like a frustrating opponent. Is it cockiness or is it confidence? I think that's the question we pose every time with these guys. Gaethje was confident he could win this fight. Ilya was confident he could win this fight. I don't see it as cockiness more so. And I know people circulate that video of Ilya celebrating before the win, and he's done that. He did that for Charles too. It's not like a new thing, but Armin is the real threat. Wouldn't shock me if Gary's doing that, Sea Blue. Knowing the guy is, wouldn't shock me. I don't know who I'm picking yet, Juice Man. I'm low-key leaning towards Garry for the value. Like, there is a path to him winning. But I don't want to bet against Islam. That's just such a rough That's just such a rough thing. And I know it'll go wrong. I picked JDM in the last fight. I got burned. This time around, like, it is addictive. It is addictive. And it feels really good when you do things the way Ilya's done things, where you really believe something will happen and then you just put in all the work and you do it. That is one of the most satisfying feelings you can have in life. And you will keep doing it. You will keep going for that. It's like Conor. So we saw how Conor bounced back from Nate Diaz. How will Ilya bounce back from this? Door is not closed. Yeah, there is value. I believe Islam's like minus 360. So Gary's like plus 300. It's like, what side would I rather bet? In this case, I might rather bet Gary, but it is Islam. It's Islam at the end of the day. Guys, we just hit 3 hours on the stream. Let's fucking go. I saw people in Joey's chat saying Ilya's dumb for saying he would knock out Gaethje in less than 3 rounds. Yes, they're right. How does Ilya have KO power above bigger people and those in his division? Well, in welterweight, he's cooked. Let's get that straight. I remember me and Chris and our boy T Money, we were having a conversation about Prates versus Ilya. If Ilya ever moved up, Prates would murder him. Murder him. Like, Ilya would get slept. And that I have no shame in admitting. Against other guys, I give Ilya a chance. Against Prates and Islam, very tough. That has to be the best drug on earth to accomplish all that. Must make you feel crazy good. Yeah, dude. That's better than any drug. You know? That's just... You will be chasing that high forever. Which is good. Very healthy thing to chase. You always want to be better than... You always want to be better, bro. Like, that's the biggest thing. That's what I had to learn on this damn cut. Today I did good, and you go to the next day. I did good today. Make the next day good as well. Joey and his fans are so negative. I'm not sure why they even watch the sport. Gaethje imagined losing, and I guess that took that fear of losing and allowed him to focus fully. Yeah, I mean, maybe there is a contrasting thing to that, you know? And I'd love to look into that a bit more. The psychological... shout out, hey, another MMA YouTuber I forgot to mention, Psychology of the Fight. Some of the best produced videos I see on the internet, regardless of if it's MMA or not, you know? That guy makes fire fucking videos. Really, really good. Highly recommend him to anyone that wants to dive more into the psychological aspect of the sport. He's awesome. He's awesome. And he takes his time. He takes his time with the videos. They're all quality. Hey, Ralph and Mark, man, I appreciate you coming in. Get some sleep. Get ready for work tomorrow, bro. Hope it's a good day. Hope it's a good day for you. Take it easy, brother. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I've never seen him say anything positive, which makes me think that he's fake. Like, I think it really goes hand in hand. Like, they're both the same. Chimp of UFC is insane. That's crazy. But yes, if you actually watch the video, it makes sense. You got to get over that part. But it does make sense if you actually watch the video and see what he's saying. Hey, thank you, bro. You know what? These compliments mean a lot to me, bro. I really appreciate it. I just love chatting with y'all, man. It's always fun for me. If you're still in here, you not subbed, I don't know what you're doing. But it's free, so you can sub. Help us out. But yeah, man, I'm glad we hit 3 hours. This is the first 3-hour stream we ever had, you know? This is a W channel. Hey, W to all y'all in chat, man. Y'all kept me going for 3 hours. My attention span is so cooked, bro. Like, the fact that y'all had me here for 3 hours is really good. Really, really good work, y'all. You'll see me around more often. You can bet on that. Hey, Juice Man, I appreciate you, bro. Always good to see you, dog. I hope you're doing well, bro. Good positive vibes in the chat. We had one phase where everyone knew my personal information. It got weird, and we somehow graduated from that. Hey, I'll see you later, John Dong. I appreciate you always, man. MMA talk is the best. It is literally my favorite pastime. It's talking ball. And I'm going to go watch the World Cup. Is the World Cup still going on? Is there any game going on? All the games finished. Oh, Colombia won. Nice. What's tomorrow? Oh, Mexico, South Korea. Fire. How do you do super chat here? Unfortunately, man, we got to hit 1,000 subs before we get money, I believe. So keep on supporting. We're going to get there eventually, man. But keep your money, bro. Keep it to bet on our picks. And then whatever you make, that's the money you'll have rolled over, bro. Later, Mark. Thank you, man. Supposedly tomorrow there's a game. I don't watch soccer, though, but I might take a peek at it tomorrow. There's 4 games. There's 4 games tomorrow. I love the World Cup, dog. I love soccer in general, but World Cup, man, like every 4 years, it is the best, bro. Like, I just be locked in. I got Spain winning this year. I think I put them down at like plus 450. I hope they get it done, man. I'm a big Yamal fan. I'm a Barcelona fan, so I hope they get it done. Barça, viva Barça. Because I grew up a Messi fan, and Messi's still killing it. He got a hat trick yesterday. I grew up a Messi fan, and then I also like Yamal a lot, so definitely Barca's my team. When it comes to World Cup, I low-key just watch it for the vibes. Like, obviously, like I always, like, in my heart, you'll want Team USA to win, but I know damn well they're not gonna win. You know, it's just for other countries, it's a bit more serious. For me, I just kind of chill and just watch the games. You know, like hockey. Yeah, he had 3 goals. Juice Man, you follow hockey? Because I'm a Sharks fan. Yeah, Messi is a dog. He is the GOAT. I think he's going to be the GOAT of this sport for at least as long as I'm alive. He's going to be the GOAT. And I'm in my 20s, so that's going to be a long ass time. Messi's dope. All right, y'all. I think it might be time for me to get some food, bro. I haven't ate dinner. I'm a Kings fan, just not like crazy about it like MMA, but I go to the games here and there. Oh, man, we're rivals. I'm playing, man. It's all good. That's dope, though. That's dope. Hockey's lit because we get fighting in hockey. Watching hockey fights is low-key so fun. Very, very fun indeed. Guys, what should I eat? What should I order? I'm gonna hop on DoorDash. What should I order right now? When y'all help me out with ordering something, then I'll peace out. Eat some Chinese. All the Chinese spots are closed, man. It's only like fast food that's open right now. Like I would say Panda, but Panda not open right now because it's like 11:40. Chinese food was slap, man. I really like Thai food too. Any Asian food just bangs, bro. Oh my God, some Indian food, some Chinese food, some Thai food, some Japanese food, bro. Asian food is just got it, bro. I do hope Shavkat fully recovers. I wish him the best, yo. I really wish him the best. I can get some gyros. A gyro. Korean barbecue is gas. We got a good Korean barbecue spot by the house. Isaac, I can't DoorDash it, but Korean barbecue, whew. Love me some Korean barbecue, man. Yeah, I don't know when Shavkat is coming back, dog. I don't know when he's coming back. As soon as he recovered, he had another setback. In-N-Out. If they had In-N-Out in the Midwest, dog, I would be there immediately. All right, let me see if Cane's is open. Oh, bet Cane's is open. Oh, but they're not on Dash Pass. That's so heinous. That is so heinous, yo. Give me some more Rex, y'all. Yeah, I was in Cali before, but I'm in yeah, see, you've been out for a while. See, I moved to Illinois for a job. But yeah, if I was back home, I'd be In-N-Out off strength, bro. I'd be there immediately. Taco Bell? All right, I'm gonna get some Taco Bell. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Some Taco Bell to hit the spot. All right, y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Thank you for tuning in once again. I'll see you very soon. See you Sunday. Peace.